Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. Um, I had a little chuckle because the way that I rang the singing bowl was a little weird. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome. In today's video, I do want to give a little bit of a trigger warning, okay? Because you saw the title. I'm assuming I'm probably going to put it in the thumbnail as well. This is a video about why you are being triggered, whether it is by a person or a situation, or maybe you're just getting constant triggers, you know? You can have more than one group. You can have a group now and then in a few months have a different group, okay? But since the general message of this reading is about triggers, I do want to let you guys know that this is most likely going to need a trigger warning kind of disclaimer. So I hope that in this video you'll be able to hear it all with an open mind, an open heart, and kind of consider, you know, if maybe what comes through can somehow be applied to you. Though I do feel like the majority of you guys who are clicking on this video are in a state of surrender where you're really trying to kind of be like, why is this happening, so that I can let it go, okay? But anyway, before we get into our group selections, my friends, I wanted to do my little self-plug and let you guys know that I do, so private readings, I'm gonna start incorporating them again to the private personal readings, but I do want to make a little note. I'm taking a break from the love readings, okay? So if your question is to do with future spouse stuff, I think I'm gonna implement little segments where I'll be like, okay guys, for this month I'm taking future spouse reading requests and stuff, just because my main focus and my goal, and even the reason why I started this YouTube channel and actually started making tarot videos on this channel per se, because this is my company name, NutAeum. And it was mainly because I was hoping to put out more content that could be geared towards helping people heal. And though that comes through in the love readings, which is great for quite a few of you, I would like to kind of, you know, shift gears. So a lot of the readings that I'm mainly working towards helping people with is more of shifting, you know, timelines. What can you do to move or out of the situation that you're currently in, or to break a pattern, or to attract in what it is that you're looking for, what you want in life, or if it is going to be romantic, then in the sense of like, why do you keep repeating the same patterns in romance, or what is the obstacle that's keeping you from bringing in the love that you're looking for. Like those kinds of readings I'll accept, but just like specific information about future spouse, I think I'm gonna do those in like little segments or like seasons, you know, okay, it's the season now, not actually like around Valentine's Day and stuff specifically, but just I'm calling it a season for trendy purposes, okay? But yeah, so I am doing personal readings, okay, but they are going to be a little bit more geared, the ones that I'll work with. You can send me the request and I'll let you know if this is a kind of reading that I'm doing, or if not, I can give you an alternative to see if you're interested in that, like how we can shift the perspective, because my goal really is to be helping you guys to, for those of you who are willing and want to, and the goal is that a lot of the people who come to this channel are probably in a place like that. You know, if you're coming for the readings that aren't just the future spouse stuff, right? It's because you want to have some kind of change, some kind of shift in your life. You want to create the life of your dreams. And I want to be able to help you do that, because that's the thing I feel the most, I think, passionate about, is helping people to kind of come aligned with that, to see where the roadblocks are so that they can overcome them and possibly provide the tools even, which I do for my personal clients, okay? So yes, so there are personal readings. They're back on track. I also make custom crystal bracelets, as you see here. This is one that I wear very often. This is actually the second bracelet I ever made, and it kind of it was just for me. The first one was for somebody else. This one was for me, and it's what started the business. So the bracelet aspect of it, I should say. But yes, I make custom crystal bracelets that are attuned with Reiki and light language and charged, you know, with divine frequency and source energy. And they are custom in the sense that you can let me know what it is that you're looking to attract more of, or to have more of in your life, whether it's abundance or self-love, or, you know, something that you're trying to overcome within yourself. And then I intuitively select the crystals, okay, and like the stones. These are all real, you know, crystals and stones and stuff like that. So yes, and I have a couple of examples of what some of these bracelets look like, or some of the bracelets that I've made in the past, on my website under the bracelets tab. So you can check that out in the description box below. And if you wanted to request a bracelet that you have seen on my website, you know, you're like, I don't really need it to be kind of just custom to me with the crystals, I really like this design, then you can do that too. And if I have some of those stones left over, I will 100% make that bracelet for you. That's cool. I also do custom affirmation songs for those of you who like music, or who are looking to have almost like your own personal kind of mantra created into song. And I have a couple of them as a few examples that I just posted on my other YouTube channel, Milcah38. So I'm gonna insert a little clip of the latest song that I posted there, okay? I surrender to your love. I surrender to your light. I surrender to your heart that beats as one with mine. But yeah, so if you're interested in one of those, you can feel free to reach out to me as well. And I have two other channels, you guys. There's the Milcah38 channel, which has my older pick a card readings when I first kind of started out, as well as the affirmation songs. And then I have Life of a Milcah, which is some stationary content, a couple of vlogs, and that channel is mainly going to be for just everything else. Okay, so if you guys are interested in some of the stationary stuff that I talk about on this channel, there's a good chance that you may see more of it on that Life of a Milcah channel, including the fountain pens and all of that, okay? Also, I have an Instagram account, okay? I have, it's NutAeum, okay? I have another one, which is just me, but then there's NutAeum, which is the business account, and I'm having a couple of plans for that account. So I've been saying it in other videos, but like, I actually mean it this time, you guys, okay? I mean it really. I'm thinking of doing a segment on Wednesdays called Wizardy Wednesdays, where Mr. Wizard gives you a little reading of the day with the tarot cards. So you can check that out, because there's already one from this past Wednesday. It was a little rough because Mr. Wizard's a little out of practice of being the one guiding the cards, but it will get better. And I think this way you'll get to know more about Mr. Wizard. Like, even I was surprised when he mentioned the trauma of the war, from the Galactic Dragon War. I don't know. But yes, so for those of you guys who are interested in that, you can check out my Instagram. And like I said, there's going to be some other content there too that will be coming on as well. So yes, without further ado, let us get into the group selection. I will be showing you 4 pens today, 4 fountain pens, as well as the inks that are in them. So if you want to choose by pen, by ink, go for it. Okay. All right, group number 1. We have the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande in 2.0 in the colorway Baobab. And I'm not sure, because of the angle of the camera, if the flash is coming up, but there is this beautiful chatoyancy in this resin. And funnily enough, I think it's called spaghetti resin because it's like the strips, but yes. And It is so gorgeous. I love this pen. This pen makes me think of labradorite, which I have a labradorite right here. I love labradorite. It's one of my favorite stones. I actually wear a labradorite necklace also. Oops. Yeah, so you can see this is the stone, the stone. This is the pen. Okay, for group number 1. I'll give you a little, there's a little ink window too. Okay, I don't want to touch it too much because some ink spilled into the cap. So, okay, all right, and I will show you the ink that this is correlated with right before, like after the 4th group. Okay, so group number 2, we have the Sailor Shikiori Fairy Tale Collection Grateful Crane fountain pen. This one is very lovely as well. And this one kind of makes me think of Cinderella's dress. A little, you know? Very pretty, okay. And it's correlated with winter, actually. It's the Shikiori season with the people who make, with Sailor that make these fountain pens. They're like the 4-season series. So they come out with a pen, whatever the theme is, and then a pen that is, oh my gosh. My poor pen that is inspired by all 4 seasons. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. Letting that go. Okay. Group number 4. Also, I feel really called to say this. And I apologize for the majority of you, which this message is not for, okay? But whoever keeps sending out negativity in the comments and stuff like that, and you, like, there are a couple of people that watch, there is a channel or 2 that watch my content and kind of put out negative comments. Thank you for the view, but I delete your comments, okay? Like, at first I felt bad about doing that because of censorship and stuff. You know, I didn't want to censor the comment section, but then I realized, no, this platform, I'm going to make sure that I keep it light, and I keep it light for the community and for myself, because I don't need to be seeing those negative comments every time I go into my YouTube studio. So whoever is getting irritated or triggered off the bat already from this kind of content, and you're planning on putting some kind of negative post, go for it if you want to, but it's gonna be gone. Like, you know, I don't have a problem deleting that stuff anymore, okay? So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, because there are a couple of people once in a blue moon that come on here and they comment this kind of stuff as if the person on the other end of this camera is not also a human having an experience in this life. You know what I mean? It's lovely that you feel brave in front of your keyboard, but okay. I'm sorry that the rest of you guys had to kind of hear that. I just felt like I really needed to say that right now, especially when this pen kind of flew. So yeah. Okay, anyway, back to the group selection. We have group number 3. Oh, it's funny how it's coming through in a video about triggers, right? Well, like I said, this is already going to be a sensitive kind of thing. So this pen, this is the Benu Euphoria. And this pen is super cool because, as you can see, I mean, all of them are. I love all of the pens, but it's hand painted and it's space themed. Okay, it's called the Beam Me Up. That is the name of the colorway. And you see there's a little UFO. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but I hope it is. UFO beaming up a cow. Okay, there's like other spacey elements. Yeah, and then it also looks like, I'm not sure if this will be picking up, but this part even looks like space because it's black, but it has some blue glitter throughout, almost like you're looking at the stars from the earth. Okay, so that is group 3. Okay, and then last but not least, we have group number 4 with the Mont Blanc. I don't know why I said it like that. I said it so posh, but the Mont Blanc Meisterstück 146, and this one is vintage from the 90s. Okay, it's got a lovely gold nib and an ink window as well. And I specifically chose pens for this reading that I'm actually going to be clearing out. I basically wrote them dry for the most part, so I want to be cleaning them out because the intention is we're going to see what your trigger is, and then we're going to hopefully work on helping you guys clearing it out, right? And then the inks that are correlated with each pen. So the first pen is this deep green color. It's kind of, it makes me think of nori or like seaweed, to be completely honest. It's called, the ink is Lennon Toolbar's Dongding Oolong Tea. So the name is fun. The second pen is this lovely moody purple, okay? And this ink is called Catfish Spirit, also by Lennon Toolbar. The third pen is Sengari Water Blue by Nagasawa Kobe. So it's number 72, Sengari Water Blue. Okay. And then for the last pen, this is Tag Stationery's, I think it's a collaboration with Kyono Oto Atsuki Iro. Okay. So these are the inks. I don't know if it's focusing or if the lighting is good, but again, it's hard to tell with where the camera is and where I'm sitting, so I hope that it's good enough for you guys. All right, now I'm gonna give you a moment to choose your groups, and I'll see you at your pile. Hey group 1, this is your group if you chose this lovely Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 in the colorway Baobab. I know it's a mouthful of a name, but yes, I'll do one more twirl for you guys of the pen. Look how lovely that chatoyancy is. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna put your pen to the side. I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you. Actually, maybe it would be best to put the pen like this, I think. Okay, cool. Or... okay, whatever. Thank you, pen. And I have shuffled your cards, okay? Normally I don't shuffle on camera, but I think I'm gonna do that today, and that's going to be who or what exactly is triggering you, okay? But first let's reveal your cards. So why are you being triggered? Okay, we have got the 7 of coins. You can see this card moving. 7 of coins. Okay. The Queen of Wands. Okay. The Queen of Coins, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Or maybe, I'm like trying to figure out which way to angle them so that you guys can see the image moving with these holographic cards. Okay. Oh wait, I just realized there's a bunny. Okay. Got it. All right. Next is, okay. So my birthday is coming up, and I'm going to, on Friday, November 8th, and I'm going to be eating pasta. So I decided to use this pasta tarot, but I'm not really good with the name of the suits. So I'm going to have to reference the little book that it comes with. So give me 1 second. Let me grab the book. Okay. So we've got the High Priestess with the salt and pepper. It's cute, right? In the boiling pot. The Knight of Corta, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay. The Knight of Wands. You see what I mean? I haven't used this deck in a long time, and even when I did use it, the 1 or 2 times that I have had to reference. Okay, and the Ace of Corta, so Ace of Wands. Okay, that'll be easy because they're the same. Cool. Alrighty. Oh, and it says the bracelet Radiator, or Radiatori? I'm not sure. Okay, got it. Next we have the Unicorn. Or actually, let's get this up here. And we have the stingray. I'm gonna shift everything over, you guys. Okay. We have the third eye, number 38, visions, manifesting, and meditation. Okay, and then we have the south node. Or maybe I'll put this actually up here. The south node, this is, oh my goodness. Sorry you guys, it's just because I have been away for some time, so I haven't touched most of these decks because honestly I really use the very colorful and fun decks for you guys. The decks that I use mainly if I were to ever do a reading for myself or for clients most of the time are just the simple standard Rider-Waite, okay? But let me get a second just to reference. I confused the sides of the wave. Okay. Where is it? Waning. Okay, this way is waning. That way is waxing. Cool. Okay, got it. That's the part I just needed to double check. All right, so we have waning gibbous, okay? And we have last quarter moon. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, actually, we have Scorpio, which the day that I'm filming this literally the morning after the Scorpio new moon. So, okay. And then the shuffling on camera, I'm just going to do that really quickly right now because I want to see if we can get more information about what specifically is triggering you. So give me 1 second. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So we've got, okay, 1 second. Also, I felt really called to just pull the bottom of the bottom, like not the part that faces the top, but the card that's on the bottom once you place down the deck, and it's the Sun card. So I just want to say that whatever we're going to be talking about, like, don't get too hard on yourselves, you guys, and know that you are overcoming. Okay, that seems to be the message off the bat, but let's get into it, and we may bring up the card again. Okay, so in regards to what is triggering you, we have the 8 of Cups, the 2 of Coins, and the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Coins, which you have twice. Okay, so for you guys, of course this is a general reading, but I'm going to tell you what I see predominantly, okay? In regards to what or who is triggering you, I'm going to say that you guys are triggering yourselves, okay, group 1? That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like, oh, I just got chills when I said it too. It looks like you guys are the ones triggering yourselves, okay? It almost feels as though you put so much pressure on yourselves, group 1. Maybe you're just so used to it that you don't feel it anymore. Like even here, this card, when I was shuffling, I asked what or who is pressuring group 1. And I got this card and I was like, okay, so clearly it's your mind, okay? It's you guys. It's you guys. And the reason that it's coming through as you, I think, is because You guys have been doing a lot of work to change your life, a lot of work to step into the next, into shifting timelines, stepping into the next reality for you guys, okay? Stepping into the reality where your dreams come true and are manifested, where you get the things that you desire, where you are as productive as you've always wanted to be, as consistent as you've always wanted to be, okay? It's like the time of you. So you guys have been doing the steps. And you, my group ones, I feel are very good at knowing, because you're wise, you're good at knowing that things take time, and that's okay. But you know that consciously. You would give this advice to anybody else, but when it comes to you, okay, it seems like consciously you can say that to yourself, but internally it feels as though you are like driving yourself, like, come on, group one, I need to, you know, kind of like when you see those scenes where there's a horse pulling a carriage, right? And somebody is like hitting the horse with a whip to make them go faster. It feels like you guys are this horse and moving carriage, and you're doing really, really well because you're moving forward. You're going to your destination. You're doing good. But then there's this little part of you that's kind of a perfectionist that kind of needs to see things completed and done. This part of you that has been a self-critic, okay? The part of you that has criticized yourself from before and all of this stuff, before you guys even started your healing and self-growth journey and all of that, okay? This self-critic. And it feels like you guys, like this self-critical part of you is there whipping the horse to try to get it to go faster. You're like, I need to make sure this horse is going efficiently at the proper speed so that we can't get delayed, all of this stuff, you know? But it's like this horse is doing so much work. It's carrying a heavy carriage, okay? Yes, you may have released the passengers and the heavy load that's inside, but the carriage, it still has some weight, right? And the horse is doing a good job. It's moving forward. But instead of acknowledging the fact that the horse is doing a good job and moving forward, it's like your immediate thought goes to, it's not going fast enough. I need to increase its efficiency. I need to be sure that we're not slowing down, that we're not delaying the journey. We need to continue to be on time at the right time properly, kind of like a militant approach, you know, kind of very, very stern. Again, the self-critic that's coming through here, okay? So it feels as though, yeah, the trigger that you guys are experiencing is kind of yourself. I feel as though your mind gets in the way, not in the way, you're not letting it get in the way because you're still taking action, which good for you guys. Really, applause, applause, applause. You are actually taking action. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like the focus just needs to be shifted. Just like you have the light and the dark, there's focus just needs to be shifted. What are you going to focus on? What are you going to look at? Are you going to focus on the fact that you are moving forward? You're finally steadily moving forward. The horse is walking. It's getting you to where you need to be. Or are you going to be worrying and panicking that it's, you know, I need to make sure that it's going at the proper speed, that it doesn't get a moment of slowing down, right? Where are you choosing to focus? I know it can be a very difficult thing to kind of shift this mindset, right? When it's so ingrained, you guys, come on. I mean, have some grace, have some kindness and compassion towards yourself, and knowing that it's not your fault that you keep thinking this way, okay? It's like, I'm not saying that it's outside of yourself, right? Because on some level we are the universe experiencing itself, and everybody that we encounter, they are a mirror. And you guys, I feel like a majority of you are kind of aware of that. You guys are my spiritual group. You're my very conscious, self-aware group, okay? You guys are incredibly psychic, and you're so gifted. You guys are so unique. You are still kind of, it's like you guys are larger than life. Okay, I'm wondering if you guys watched my healing focus for the month of November video, for those of you who are watching this video at the time when it comes out, because there's a group that this is kind of reminding me of, and I don't remember which group, okay? But it's like you guys with this unicorn card, you are this magical, mystical, divine being, okay? You are unique. You are special. You are a light. You are a gift to the world. You have a grand purpose that you are meant to accomplish that is for the light, of the light, and for the light. And it solely comes from you guys just doing what you feel guided to do, what is right for you, okay? Now, that being said, it's like you guys are aware of the concept of imposter syndrome, but it's still coming up as a trigger, okay? It's like you guys are taking the steps, which, like I said, incredible that you guys are no longer stopping at the start line because of fear. You get fear, you get discomfort, but you keep going. Incredible, okay? Incredible work. But it seems like you're still going forward with this mindset of kind of like the steps, you're taking them at the pacing they need to be taken, but you feel a little timid in some of those steps, okay? Kind of like you're taking those steps, but you're also wondering, like you're trying not to look side to side to see if you're kind of doing the right thing. You're trying to continue to just keep moving forward, but there's still a little bit of doubt, okay? And I'm here to let you guys know you are this grand, big presence. You are this light. Remember, it says, I don't know what it actually means, but I'm kind of guessing it means like radiate, okay? Even this little pasta is kind of a shining light. This is the Wands card. It's a fire. It's a spark, okay? So I just realized that he's bringing a pasta pizza, and I was kind of thinking of buying one yesterday. Maybe this is a sign to buy one. This being said, I feel like this is also kind of a sign for you guys too, to continue to follow the signs. You guys are going to be getting a lot of signs. And if you feel like you're not seeing the signs, it's only because you're kind of in your head a little bit. Okay? So just continue to go into the present, ground with this Queen of Coins. Just ground down. You see how these coins card, the 7 of coins, there's a weight that needs to happen. Like you've planted the seeds, you're watching them grow. They're basically fully grown, but they're not 100% ripe enough to kind of get off of the tree yet, okay? You know, they look ripe, but you know that the right ripeness is when they're gonna fall off of the tree themselves to collect, okay? So you still have to wait just like a teeny bit more, but this critical part of you is like, okay, I need to ensure, it's kind of militant, like I said, I need to ensure that we're not jumping off of this timeline, that we need to continue to stay on this timeline, that we need to continue to create and manifest this thing that we're looking for. And it's like, you guys, I was gonna say girl, okay, but I know that it's like slang, but of course this is not directed towards any gender, but for whoever who needed to hear it like that, okay, girl or boy, whatever, you are not off track, okay? You're doing good. You're doing really, really, really good. You are at this precipice in your life. It's kind of like ascension. With this stingray, whenever I see this stingray card, I think of ascension, okay? I think this is like the Kundalini rising. This is the next level shift. This is a consciousness shift. And you guys are there. The unicorn also represents the third eye. The third eye even came out for you guys. 38 is also 11. This is all about vision, okay? Consciousness, your mind. You guys are creating the life of your dreams. And the only real obstacle, okay, or illusion of an obstacle is coming from your thinking that you're throwing yourself off. It's like, you guys just need to keep doing what you're doing, but that fear that comes up of like, am I gonna mess it up? Or I'm gonna take this step. Is it the right step? Is it gonna throw me off? Or do I need to keep, doing whatever? It's like, that's the only thing that is kind of getting in the way here. And it's not even getting in the way. It's just kind of making your journey less pleasant, okay? So just know, everything that you guys are doing is guided. Everything that you are doing is what you're meant to be doing, okay? You're taking the right steps. It's like you guys are between what do I need to leave behind and I am this Queen of Coins. I stay here with my fruitful encounter and let things come to me, and I'm grounded to the earth and all of this stuff, right? You see even here, it's like the queen is sitting at the table. The customers will come to her at the counter, okay? When you're sitting on the throne, you expect others to come to you, not you having to get up and go walk to them. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So it feels like with this, what do I need to cut out? What do I need to walk away? This is again part of that self-critical thing, right? It's like you're searching for, how can I make this better? How can I improve this even more? How can I deepen this experience? But it's like, instead of you focusing on how can you make it more and how can you deepen it and all of this stuff, just focus on the experience, right? Because you guys have gotten to a place where you are now getting more grounded and all of this stuff. But the moment you start thinking, how can I give myself more of this, right? How can I make it even deeper, even more meaningful? It's like you take yourself out of that moment, right? Because now you're no longer in the present, you're in your mind thinking about how you can alter the outcome or the future or the near future, okay? So it's just, whenever you start kind of getting into that state of mind of, how can I make this better? How can I make this more meaningful, more significant? And you start kind of overthinking it, just come back into the present. Just ground a little bit, okay? And know that discomfort is part of the journey. And it's going to be difficult to completely eliminate all triggers, right? Because at the end of the day, you may be an infinite soul, but you are encountering, you're in a physical form, right? You're having a physical, third dimensional experience. Even if you shift your consciousness, the world that we live in, the people that we encounter, they're not all going to be on this fifth dimensional consciousness. And this programming has been put into us, right, as a race, as a civilization, as a people, okay, from generations of, whether it's generational conditioning, cultural conditioning, media conditioning, okay, religious conditioning. There's a lot of conditioning that's been going on for centuries. So yeah, give yourself some grace, group one, okay? It's okay that there's a little tyrant in you that's kind of trying to control everything and making things deeper. That's okay. The way that you face that tyrant is not by getting aggravated with them, because that's the perfectionist at it again, right? That's the ego getting frustrated with the ego, right? It's kind of like, it gives you, it's like hiding itself in a way, you know what I mean? It's like if you took the ego. Oh, I feel like I kind of need to do a visual diagram. So let me do a little diagram for you guys, okay? So it's kind of like if it's a good thing I have a pen handy, right? Okay. If this is your ego, right? This little line here is your ego, okay? And then you start judging yourself, right? You're looking at your ego from up here. You're like, whoa, ego, why are you doing that? Come on now, right? What it actually is your ego, which is a little bit more evolved because of your spiritual nature and how much you guys have grown and worked on yourself. So the ego has kind of evolved too. So your ego looks at itself with an ego mirror. Okay, say this is the mirror. It comes out from itself, looking at itself and judging itself, okay? So your higher self is going to be up here, right? And it's just kind of watching this whole experience. So this is the 5D consciousness this is the 5D state that you guys are in. It's just your ego. Whenever you start having this judgment or whatever, this ego kind of comes out of it. It kind of creates another version of itself to observe itself and create that judgment, you know, like, why are you doing that? Right? Okay. That was the visual demonstration. So hopefully that could be helpful for someone. But yeah, that's kind of it, you guys. Even here, right? With the South Node, the waning gibbous, and then the last quarter, this is actually really good that it came out in this order, okay? Because waning gibbous, the next phase of the waning gibbous, or to get to the new moon, is the last quarter. Then after the last quarter, it's going to become the waning crescent. And then it's going to be the new moon. So you guys are on track. This is saying that you're on track to shed your past, to shed this identity of who you were before and kind of embrace your true authentic soul nature and the embodiment of who you always were and always were meant to be in your core nature, okay, where you're shedding those extra layers of conditioning. You guys are on track for doing that, okay? You're perfectly on track. You're perfectly on time. That horse is still being drawn by the carriage at the correct time. Okay? So the only kind of shift that I'm seeing here is this, okay? And some of you guys, what you could have been experiencing is projection, where you kind of could be slightly judging, or not judging, but kind of like observing people, or being more conscious or made aware of people who are doing the same thing, where you're kind of like, well, you guys are still being so critical to yourself, you know? But it's because the world is a mirror, right? And so you're encountering these people because it's kind of like your subconscious is trying to show you, hey, group one, I want you to kind of see what's going on internally too, okay? And you could have been kind of even triggered, I think, by past versions of yourself. Maybe if you looked at a past version and you're like, wow, I'm so much more light now. This past version is so much more shrouded in the dark, okay? And it's like, that's that self-critical part again, right? How can we give ourselves more compassion? How can we give ourselves more kindness and grace? I think that could be the question for you guys. But yeah, that's basically it for your reading, group one. I think it was pretty clear. I hope that it helps. Oh, and you know what? I did not touch on this Knight of Wands. So give me 1 second. It's been a while since I've used these dice. Okay. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We have conjunction 14 with Temperance, Saturn, Karen, Ascendant, and Midheaven. Okay, so that's immediate. Okay, Uranus, and then, okay, I have an actual, I created these dice. I designed them and had them custom made, and there's one kind of thing on these dice where I'm not as aware of, like, I use them, they're all astrology related kind of things, but I kind of forgot what one of the die, the symbols that are on it, what they mean. So I have a little cheat sheet. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this one is Vulcan. Okay, that part I kind of knew, but Vulcan is, look at that. Vulcan, rapid expansion, purifying fire. Okay. Vulcanus, rapid expansion, purifying fire. Cool. Okay. So, interestingly enough, you guys have, because remember, I said Ascendant and Midheaven, and to myself, I thought, okay, so this is kind of like immediate. This is kind of in the face, and it's immediate, it's now starting, and it's upcoming. And then we also have conjunction, which is like right next to, okay? 14 is Temperance. Then we have Saturn and Uranus, which, funnily enough, Saturn actually, or Uranus, the planet, actually used to also be ruled by Saturn. So there is this aspect of a kind of, yeah, connection there, parallel. So give me 1 second with the dice. I feel like, because I wanted to get more information about this Knight of Wands, and to me, it's coming through as like, oh, I get it now. Okay, I was going to say, what it's coming through as, like, it's coming soon, you guys. It's coming close. What the goal that you're going towards, it's coming towards you just as much as you are coming towards it. Okay? It's like your carriage is being drawn by this horse. Meanwhile, your goal, your pizza is getting delivered to you as well. And you guys are going to meet somewhere on the path. Okay? So it's like, you guys don't have to worry about that. It's, both sides are pouring. Both sides are taking action with the Temperance card. It's like 1 and 2. It's like balance. Both sides are coming together. You know how they say if you take 1 step, the universe takes 10? It's like you guys are not the only ones walking, okay? Your goals, your dreams, your destination wants to come to you too, okay? So there is nothing you can do to throw yourself off of your path, okay? Nothing you can do. It's happening kind of soon-ish, but don't let the timing get to you and turn into this kind of like, I need to protect this timeline or whatever, right? Whenever it starts coming up with timing, because I feel like you guys could be sensing something is coming. There is this ignition in you. There's some kind of a passion, okay? There's some kind of, like, there is a, like, this fire, okay? You guys are going through the steps. Like, you're doing it. You're not even having roadblock, like, you're not even having delays, okay? You're just going through it. You're, like, I don't want to say zooming, you're exactly the same amount of time that you're supposed to spend on the steps, you guys are doing. You guys are great, okay? You are literally on track, on time. You're spending exactly how long you need to spend in those things. Even when you get in your head, you're spending as long as you need to be spending in that section before you go on to the next one, okay? So just know that, so that maybe it can help you kind of release this having to calculate. And I think you guys are going to work on that now that you've heard it too, okay? Because again, it's like this rapid purification, and right underneath it is Karen. It's the Karen is where what's the word? It's the wounded healer. Karen, whatever. Chiron, okay? Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the place where we can help others heal, but it's because we actually need to heal within ourselves. So just like I was saying, it's like you guys can give this advice. Remember I mentioned it in the beginning, but it's like now it's time to actually give that application to you again. And you may have done it before, but look, sometimes we need constant reminders. Sometimes we've got to just keep doing it, right? Some things are a little harder for us to shake than others. So that's okay. Just give yourself some grace, okay? And know that you're operating on divine timing, that a lot is changing in your life that you don't even see yet, okay? You guys have really brought in this whole kind of potential energy. So you don't even see it yet, but it's coming, okay? You guys are like walking in like a knight form, but you're approaching like your queen king stage, okay? It's just, you've got a little bit more to go. You've got two more cards, or actually it's just one more card until you get to the new moon. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 of these and then it's the new moon, okay? So it's like there's just a smidgen more to go, okay? All right, group 1, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that it was really helpful to you guys. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. How are you guys doing? You know, are you ready to embrace your new beginning? Is the pizza here? Okay, is the pizza coming? Did you smell the pizza? Man, now I really want pizza. Okay. But yes, okay, you guys. So I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, okay? Because it does help the channel. And also, for those of you who are not subscribed, you don't have to, obviously, but I would appreciate the support if you would like to subscribe and get notified whenever I post new videos. And for those of you guys who are subscribed, thank you guys so much for being here, for continuing to be here. I'm so grateful and thankful to all of you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, group 1, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Okay. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and may you guys always be blessed. Okay, group 1. Bye, guys. Hey, group 2. This is your group. If you chose this lovely Sailor Shikiori fairy tale Grateful Crane fountain pen, which is the winter pen, okay? In this 4-season collection, yes, okay. So this is the pen. I have done the little twirl. Okay, I'm gonna set your pen to the side, you guys. I finished shuffling your cards. I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you. Okie doke. And I do want to let you guys know, after I reveal your cards, I'm also going to shuffle one deck on camera because I did it in the last group, so I'm going to do it for the rest of them as well, I think. And we're going to see if we can see what exactly is triggering you, as opposed to just why you're being triggered, okay? Okay, so we'll start with the why you're being triggered, though, and whatever comes through with that. So first off, we've got, by the way, also, I want to say, like, with your group, I felt excitement. I felt excitement, like there's something kind of like, okay, the feeling is almost as though you guys are supposed to be going somewhere and you're super excited, okay? Like say maybe somebody's going to Disney World or Disneyland in like a couple of weeks or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm super excited. I'm finally going to get to go, or I'm going to have fun or whatever. Or same thing, like, sorry for the noise, by the way. I don't know what the heck is going on upstairs, but it keeps getting some kind of movement noise or vibration. But yes, so there's some kind of excitement, you know, or like, oh, in 2 weeks I get to be out of school for a vacation, or I get to get a break, or I have a concert that I'm going to, or this excitement could also be almost like if you guys are going for a job interview, you know, and you kind of really want and like this job, and part of you feels like you could be a really good fit, and you're wondering if you could act. What the heck is going on upstairs? My goodness. Okay, but yes, you guys are like wondering. I'm just so curious. I hope everything's okay. All right. But yes. Okay, I just heard cleaning. Okay, so maybe it's cleaning house. So some things that you've got to do to get ready for whatever this exciting thing is, okay? Like a little to-do list, a little checklist, but that checklist can also help you guys to get excited too, okay? So yeah, so it's also like somebody could be preparing for a date, you know what I mean? Like this feeling of like it's your first date with somebody that you like and you're excited. It's like right before the date, you're getting dressed, you're putting on your scent or whatever, you know, perfume, cologne, you know what I mean? And you're kind of just, you're getting ready, you know, and you're like, okay, I'm excited. So it's this sensation of butterflies. It's not so much like nervous where you can't take action. It's just butterflies, excitement. Okay. All right. Now to the cards. So first off, we've got the Queen of Swords. I'm just going to move them around since these are holographic cards. Okay. Alrighty. Next we have the Seven of Swords. I'm hoping that you guys can actually see the motion. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Okay. And then we have the Three of Coins. Okay. And the next deck is actually a pasta deck, because I told group 1, so I'll tell you guys too. My birthday is on Friday, okay, November 8th, and I'm going to go eat pasta. So I was like, I'm gonna eat pasta in a nice place, okay, in the city. So I'm gonna be putting out, I'm gonna use the pasta card. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna put the pasta cards, okay? So we've got Death. A funny card, right? To just be like talking about all this exciting stuff, birthdays and pasta, and then death. Okay. We also have the High Priestess, which came out in the first group. So I'm wondering if you guys were drawn to 2 groups, because there was a point where I was shuffling, I accidentally said group 1 towards the end. So only if you felt called to watch 2 groups, go and check out group 1 as well. And then we have Ace of Wands, which came out in group 1 as well. And it says on the bracelet, Radiatori. Okay. Could be pronouncing it wrong, but it's okay. Then we have the Hawk. The Horse. Oh my. Okay. And then we have number 7 with Blue Avians. Philosophy, Releasing Karma, and Mysticism. Okie-doke. We also have Beginning of Winter. Okay. And the 5th house. You guys actually got an extra card with this. Okay. The North Node. And Pisces. Okay. And I'm going to shuffle really quickly to see if we can get a couple more cards with a different deck as to what exactly is triggering you guys, okay? It could be a person, it could be a situation. It's whatever's going to come through, okay? Hold on. And one final card. Okay, there's the one. Cool beans. Bottom of the deck, we have 8 of coins. Making cookies. Wow. Winter is really coming through for you guys. When I see something like this, it makes me think of like baking cookies in the winter or in December because of the, you know, holidays, okay? And then you actually have beginning of winter here. And this is the 5th house, but I keep looking at this symbol and in my head, I'm seeing it as Aries, okay? Which is interesting, because we have Aries and then Pisces. This is the first and the last of the zodiac. Even though this is actually the 5th house, but I keep seeing this 5 as the symbol for Aries. So, okay. All right. Then we have the 6 of Cups. Lovely. The Devil. And the 9 of Swords. Okie dokie. Just give me a moment, my friends. Okay. As far as what is triggering you guys, like what is actually triggering you guys, it feels like what's triggering you, or something that is kind of like, it's triggering something in you, okay, is connections. And what I mean by that, it's, it kind of feels like you guys get a little triggered by relationships, like romantic relationships, that in your mind are considered clingy or codependent, okay? And like you guys are going into a mindset possibly of being overly independent and needing that freedom. Oh, speaking of freedom, right? A hawk, a horse, okay? This is like a horse, like free horses, wild horses, right? Like horses are kind of a symbol of freedom. Same thing with the hawk. It flies above everything else. It's kind of like flying solo. But 2 of the bottom deck energies for you guys are the Lovers card. And then there are 2 Lovers cards is what I'm saying. And then another bottom deck. Oh my. Another bottom deck energy for you guys. Oh, accidentally pulled out 2, but we have Jupiter, which is kind of making me think of marriage, and Libra, partnerships and connections and relationships, okay? And Neptune was underneath. And then the 8 of Cups, or sorry, 8 of Coins came out, and right underneath it, like it fell out, we have the Ace of, the Ace of Wands twice, okay? So I'm actually going to take this just and put it to the side here to kind of remember to make a note about this. But what I'm seeing here is a lot of freedom and independence and this need for freedom, okay? This need for independence. I feel like you guys are so used to being on your own that it has allowed you to become incredibly independent. And maybe you've had codependent connections with parents, with people from your past, where people just relied on you a lot. Like you guys did not get what you needed emotionally, but people relied on you to give them those things, okay? So you guys didn't get poured into. And so you worked on embracing independence, on embracing kind of like loving to be on your own and freedom and all of this stuff, right? That feels good. And I'm going to focus on my personal projects. And it's like you guys are doing everything to try to not think too much about love. Okay. And that is because with Neptune being underneath the Libra and Jupiter, with the two lovers cards being present, okay, you guys, when you were younger, it could be, really wanted a connection, this kind of a once in a lifetime kind of love. Okay, you chose the fairy tale pen. Okay, you know what I mean? Remember, I mentioned Cinderella's dress. So you guys on some level wanted this soulmate connection, which now you guys are saying, you know what, I don't need a romantic partner. Okay, I can have soulmate connections with my friends that are meaningful and drama free and that are not codependent. Okay, that are not going to be like a ball and chain, that are going to hold me down and expect me to be emotionally fulfilling them and gratifying them and whatever else it may be. Okay, yeah. So it feels like you guys can sometimes get triggered, or like there could be a part of you that gets a little judgmental, whether you realize it or not, of people who are in romantic connections where they seem kind of like clingy to each other, or like like I'm seeing like a girl hanging on a guy's arm and like leaning on him a lot like that, and you guys would be like, oh my gosh, what is this public display of affection? Okay, like, can you guys get a room? You know what I mean? It's not necessarily that all of you guys are going to think that way, but there is some kind of trigger when it comes to these kinds of relationships. And then when you hear people talking about their partners, or like, for example, right, you could be saying to a friend that you haven't seen in a while, like, I want to hang out. And they're like, yeah, me too, but I can only hang out until this time because this time my partner comes home and we like to have dinner together. And you're like, oh my gosh, can't you do something without your partner? Like, you don't say this to them, but you're thinking, like, can't you do something without your partner? Can't you have a life outside of your relationship? Like, come on. So I feel like this judgment and like all of this, and it's interesting because like with winter, people kind of are looking for somebody to cuddle with, right? So there's also this aspect of a kind of like looking for a relationship or a connection for the winter. Not you guys, I'm saying there's this kind of idealization. And so I feel like you guys are like, again, there's just this judgment, this criticism. And I feel like this is something that comes up for you guys because it's easier because you did not have your needs met before. Okay. Your start, because every connection we have with somebody is considered a kind of relationship, right? And your first introduction to relationships and connections to people were not gratifying for you, were not fulfilling for you, and they were with deep codependency issues because, like I said, for a lot of you, I think it could be the parents, where the parents had this huge codependency, or like they were not meeting your needs as a child, or giving you what it is that you need to become a stronger and healthier person. So you guys had to kind of take on this responsibility yourself. And then your parents became like something that hangs on you or kind of relies on you, right? And you could have also encountered people in the wild, okay? Relationships, connections, friendships when you were younger. You would attract people who also would just keep kind of taking from you or come to you for advice or come to you to get what they need and then go, right? So you were like, I don't need those people. Your ego, your self-defense mechanism, okay? Because the ego is not some evil thing that people... like people kind of make it out to be like this horrible thing and all this stuff, but it's not. It's a self-defense mechanism, okay? And you don't have to work on destroying the ego, abolishing it, like some people say, okay? Instead of abolishing it, what I think could be useful is instead giving it love and light and compassion and saying, I can see that you're hurt here. I can see that you don't have faith or trust in this area. I can see that, and that's okay. But I'm going to continue to show up for you until your ego starts to realize that it can't deny the fact that, this is what it is or whatever else, okay? Give me one sec. Yeah. So it seems like even if part of you kind of wants to have a relationship or a connection, it's like there's a part of you that is almost afraid to say that what you want is a romantic connection, a romantic relationship, okay? And that fear seems to be coming from, I think maybe that's why even your pen kind of got flung, right, when I was holding it. It's like I kind of like this, I kind of want this, but like no, I don't want it. It's like you're trying to convince yourself from a place of fear that it's not something that you actually want or need. You don't need another person to make you feel whole. You don't need another person to make you feel complete, to make your life feel like it's worth living. And all of these things are true, group 2. But it's not that you're looking for someone to complete your life or make it whole. You're looking for someone who can add to your life, someone who it's fun to experience life with, someone who you can lean on, okay? Just like that example of where there was like I told you, like it's like looking at some relationship in the distance and you see like a girl leaning on a guy and all this stuff and you kind of have this judgment of it. And it's like, well, that's something that you guys could use, is that support. But you've taught yourself, or you are afraid to allow yourself to kind of think about it, to dream about it, to fantasize about it, because you've been hurt in the past, you've been hurt before, okay? And you don't want to lose yourself in a connection. So there's fear when it comes to love. There's fear of actually kind of becoming this vulnerable and possibly opening up to someone in a way where you kind of start to rely on them a little, and then that person not giving you what you need. That person coming out to be similar to those connections from the past that kind of taught you to operate from a place of fear or hurt when it comes to connections romantically, okay? It's like I'm hearing, I don't need people. I can do things on my own. For some of you. For the majority of you, I think it's mainly for just romantic relationships. But for like a small minority, it's kind of like, I can handle things on my own. And it's like, yeah, you can. You're great. You're wonderful. You can handle everything on your own. But why should you? Just because you've had to do it before doesn't mean that it's something you need to continue to do for the rest of your life. You're not being weak. You're not becoming dependent, like overly so, by allowing someone to help you. And that child that got hurt, that child that felt like they didn't get the support that they need. Oh, I just got chills. Yeah. That child that felt like they didn't get the support that they need, that lives within you. You guys not allowing people to help you is kind of like you denying that child what it's been looking for and searching for all along. And you just kind of turning to them and being like, I'm going to be all the help that you need. You know? It's about, like, are you going to continue to hurt yourself by keeping this wall up, by keeping this distance, by keeping this fear intact and not allowing things to come in for you in that aspect because, you know, you're worried about it? And then some of you could say, but Milka, I have allowed a connection in here or there and they did hurt me or they did act this way. And it's like, yeah, they acted this way. I completely understand, but they acted this way because your energy was screaming and drawing in somebody that acts this way. Because this is what you expected the relationship to be. This is your comfort zone. That place of fear is the comfort zone. People think that comfort zone is something that you want. No. Comfort zone is something that you are just comfortable in. It's the thing that you've known your whole life. And so stepping out of it, regardless of whether it's good for you or not, is going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like a challenge. Okay? And a comfort zone for someone who has experienced hurt and pain and trauma and abandonment is going to be that hurt, pain, trauma, and abandonment, because this is all your subconscious knows. This is all your subconscious knows, right? Is that abandonment. So this is the comfort zone, because it's scary to venture out of the comfort zone. It's scary to open up and think, okay, what if somebody actually could love me the way that I'm looking for and want? But then they leave me, you know, or whatever else. The idea of even getting the thing that you're looking for is scary because it's out of your comfort zone, right? That's normal. That's human nature. That's our instinct to protect ourselves, okay? It's like, this is all I know, and this is all I've ever known, so how can I know something different? Different is scary. It's nature to feel that way. It's self-preservation, so it's okay that your subconscious gets into that place, okay? But you can kind of ask yourself, well, I understand that it's scary, but can I be open to the idea that maybe I deserve more than what I've been experiencing or allowing myself to experience by staying in this place that is comfortable, but that has continued to hurt me, right? Let me see what else I'm getting here, guys. I didn't even look too much at like your actual cards up here and here and stuff. So now I'm actually looking at them. And this is exactly what I was talking about. The Death card with the High Priestess and the Ace of Wands. This kind of feels exactly what I just explained. You guys have been hurt before. You're done with crying and mourning and having expectations for people, expecting them to meet your needs, and then it not happening, or when something kind of seems like it's starting to go right and then it doesn't happen again, you know? So you just kind of went, well, I'm going to give myself everything I need. I'll be the chef that I need. Okay. I don't need to go to their restaurant to eat. I'm going to learn to cook for myself. Okay. And then there's this fire, this passion that starts up in you, this independence to kind of go out and do your own thing and all of this stuff. But it's a little cold and lonely, you know, going it on your own the whole time. Okay. And remember, I mentioned there being a trigger warning in the beginning of this video, in the introduction of this video. And I just want to say, like, I get that some people may not necessarily feel like they're ready to hear this message, but I do feel like a majority of you can. You've come in knowing that you have to have an aspect of surrender here, right? And this is something that gives you guys anxiousness, anxiety, okay? Fear again. Like, I feel like some of you guys can have anxiousness or like anxiety, okay? And you just think that you have anxiety and that you overcome it somehow on your own or whatever. But I feel like this anxiety is actually stemming from what we were just talking about with you guys kind of isolating yourselves to protect yourselves, but what you're really doing is hurting that inner child and keeping them locked up in a room on their own, right? Now I know what some of you could be thinking. Okay, Milka, I get it. What can I do? What can I do about it? How can I shift out of that? Okay. So, also, by the way, this is in part, this is like you guys releasing that karma, okay? Because you could have, like I said, this feels like something that your parents kind of helped to contribute, instill in you. For most of you, I feel parents. It doesn't have to be, this is a general reading, but for the majority of you, I'm getting it's kind of coming from the parents or the grandparents, okay? It's coming from ancestral lines, family, the people who kind of contributed in raising you, okay? Like the people who are primary in raising you. So, yeah, okay, give me one sec. I just need a moment, you guys, to see what that guided advice is going to be, okay? So what I can give you as advice, what kind of guidance I can provide that comes through that can help you to kind of start incorporating these shifts for those of you who are like, I want to change this, Milka. I don't want that inner child to continue to feel lost and abandoned just because I'm scared to kind of leave this place or open the door. Okay, so give me one second. Yeah, and I'm seeing hair, okay? Just a little side note on 2 of the cards. So I feel like this could be like you guys wanting to release your past, but just not entirely sure of how to do so and asking for help. So the hair, because hair is releasing. But for some of you guys, it could also have been in the past. You guys would get so stressed from like this anxiousness that would come just from literally having to be like that inner child being stuck alone in a room and being told you're there for your own protection. Okay, so this anxiousness, it feels like it was so stressful because, again, like I saw hair kind of like coming out or falling out. But okay, give me one more sec. I'm still coming back to that message. I do have some guidance for you guys. I just need to kind of pick it up. And I would invite you guys to kind of breathe in this moment of silence, because I feel like on some level there needs to be silence while I'm getting this, for you guys to just kind of take in everything that was said, because I know that was a lot of information for some of you guys, okay? I'm not here trying to call you out in any kind of a negative, harsh way or anything like that, okay? So I acknowledge that this is a lot of information. So take a moment to just kind of breathe through it, okay? Just kind of be in a little bit of a meditative state, okay? Okay. So two of the things that kind of came through were actually 2 affirmation songs that I have on YouTube on my Milcah38 channel, okay? The more latest one at the point of this video being out, which is I surrender to your love, and then also I am enough, okay? I would recommend for you guys to check out those songs. It's not a self-plug, okay? It's because these songs were channeled to help people. And I surrender to your love can sound like a romantic love song, but it's actually kind of like the love and light of God, of source, of the universe, okay? Of source energy. So that song was written as kind of like, I like it when songs have a dual meaning, so it can be interpreted solely as one way, but it actually can also be interpreted in another. So that song was written as like a love letter to source, to God. Okay? So this act of, maybe you can listen to it a few times. Same thing with I am enough. Because the I am enough is going to be you guys allowing that child not to be the mama bear or papa bear that is kind of like, of course I'm enough, of course, you know, like where it comes in aggressively. Because the aggressiveness, that's the ego kind of going into self-defense mode. It's not about it coming in aggressively. It's about opening that door and showing that child, I want you to realize that you are safe, that you are light, that you are enough. You're good enough to have a connection that stays, that lasts, that is healthy. You're good enough. You're worthy of a connection of real, true love. You deserve love. You deserve the love of a lifetime. You wanted this since you were a little kid, and you deserve it. Just because you haven't seen what that looks like, or you can't even imagine completely what that looks like, does not mean that it is something that is not meant for you. The fact that you wanted it is a huge key component and sign that it is meant for you. You've just got to start believing it yourself, okay? We encounter trauma, it's unavoidable. Whatever kind of trauma it is, it's just unavoidable, right? Trauma is one of the largest, biggest, greatest tools that we have for growth. once we get to a certain point where we can start releasing it. Some people never get to that point, okay? But if you're watching this video, I believe it's because you can, because you want to, because there is something in you calling you, saying, I want the change. I want to let go of the past. I want to step into this beginning, to this reality where I get the things that I want because I deserve it. I know I do. I just don't feel like it yet. So what can I do? Okay? So those two songs, that can help. I Am Enough is also one of those, because I want you guys, if you can, if you're going to choose to listen to those songs, try to memorize the words and sing it. Listen to it enough that those songs get caught in your head. They are affirmation songs. Let it become a mantra. Can you imagine if the words I am enough, like as I'm saying this, I'm feeling tears in my eyes, because I feel like whoever is listening to this right now, a bunch of you guys, it's resonating for you. Even if it's just that one individual, but I know that someone who is listening to this is getting it. You're getting the message. So I'm very proud of you for being receptive. You are good. You are surrendering. This was aspects of control, but you had to be that way. You had to be that way to survive, okay? And now you're opening up to the concept of surrender. Good job. God bless, okay? So yes, imagine if you have in your head stuck the words, I am enough, I am enough. Can you imagine how quickly and more rapidly your life will shift when something like that becomes your mantra? Because saying it as an affirmation, it's great, but if it gets stuck in your head in the form of a song, now that is going to help you so much more, right? Because songs, they go straight to our subconscious at times. They just become, like, think about all the times a song gets stuck in your head, right? So for you guys, I feel like it's just the act of surrender. Like you guys are clutching onto the doorknob, and the universe is just saying, my dear, beautiful, beautiful, sweet aspect of myself, release. Just unclench your wrists. Loosen the grip a little. You don't even have to fully let go. If you loosen the grip enough, we'll be able to open the door on the other side to help you guys. Okay? So that's why I Surrender to Your Love is one of those songs that I recommend too. Okay, because it's about surrendering to the love of Source, to the light of Source. And if you can have that stuck in your head, the chorus is, I surrender to your love, I surrender to your light. I surrender to your heart that beats as one with mine, because it's the heart, the essence of Source that connects everything, right? And imagine if you have I surrender to your love, I surrender to your light constantly playing in your head, for you to start being able to go like, I can release. That anxiousness, that anxiety, it was supposed to give you guys a message, and now you guys have heard it. Now you guys are here receiving it, okay? It's saying, I'm uncomfortable and I don't feel safe here because it's scary and it's dark and the door is closed. So those songs, and then of course those affirmations of I am enough, I am worthy, I am deserving, I am lovable, okay? I'm so worthy of love. All right? Another thing that can help you, listen to things that bring you peace and joy. I keep hearing listening for you guys, so maybe you guys are also very clairaudient. But yeah, it's like about like hearing. It's like you guys need to hear these things first for you to start feeling like, okay, maybe I can open up to it, okay? So maybe go out, take a walk in a park, listen to the birds, okay? Now is the time for a graceful surrender, where you're just in a vulnerable state, possibly crying, okay? And just go listen to the birds, listen to those songs, listen to affirmations. Maybe record yourself in a kind and gentle voice saying, I am lovable, I am beautiful, I am worthy of a partner that stays, I am worthy of relationships and connections that stay. that support me, that make me feel whole and safe and secure, that complement my life, that are healthy. That are strong. I'm worthy of having people in my life that have got my back, that I can lean on for support, that can help me when I fall. Okay, so that surrender is the first step. Okay, entering that stage of surrender where you're just kind of in the present, right? So like I said, going on a walk, listening to the birds. I feel like it's just naturally going to come to you. You guys just need to, instead of planning your future, just kind of allow whatever emotions come up to come up. Okay? So maybe before, whenever you would see a couple acting like that, it would trigger you and you would get angry and upset. But you were getting angry or like frustrated or annoyed because it was protecting you from getting sad. So in this state of surrender, when you go for a walk, and if you just so happen to see that kind of a scenario, if you feel some kind of sadness, like, but why, how come I don't have somebody like that? Why don't I have someone like that? Someone who can support me or love me or whatever. Feel that emotion, cry, let it out, okay? Now is the time for you to feel all of the things that you guys would not allow yourselves to feel out of fear. That's the level of surrender. That's the first step, okay? And then maybe you'll feel guided to one of the healing focus videos once you guys are in this place for some time. And because I'll keep making the healing focuses for the month, you know? Maybe you'll feel guided to one when it's time to hear the next phase, the next message. You don't need all of the steps right now. You just need the next step. And the next step is working and practicing on kind of surrendering. Because once you surrender, the rest will start finding you. The messages that you need to hear will start coming to you, will find you. And most importantly, that child, you're going to let them express themselves. Because what ended up happening was they were locked in that room, they were locked in that closet, and they were told, I'm keeping you here for safety. You don't need anybody else. You've got me, right? But that child was alone in that room, in the dark. They were sad. They were lonely. They were hurt. They felt abandoned, and they were scared. Okay? Because it's a child alone in a room in the dark. Which it's okay that that happened. It's okay that you guys ended up doing that. That was conditioning. You guys were taught, you were programmed, you were trained to kind of do that. You thought that you were protecting yourself, that you were keeping yourself safe. But that child was only feeling more hurt and isolated and alone. Okay? So when you come across a hurt child, you don't come up to them and say, well, now you're safe. Now you're good to go, right? You tell that child it's okay to cry, right? You're not there to try to stop them to cry. You say it's okay. Cry it out, let it out, because you're comforting them. So crying, all of this other stuff that you guys can experience now after hearing this message, this surrender, it's actually a good thing, okay? Because you're allowing that child to start expressing themselves. So don't worry about, oh, maybe you could be going into depression or whatever. That's not the case. You're allowing that child to express themselves. So all of these different kinds of emotions are now going to start coming up for you, okay? That have to do with you guys just voicing it, letting it out, okay? Releasing. And in this process of surrender and release, you open yourself up to receive more guidance from the universe about what your next step is going to be when it's time for the next step. Okay? Yeah, you guys are right on track. You're on the right path. You had to encounter and be the way that you were before, and now you're ready for the next step. Okay? You're ready for this surrender. That's what this North Node is. You guys are aligning with how you're aligning with what you guys want, with your true heart's desires, by kind of taking it one step at a time. And the first step is that surrender to grieve the fact that you kind of weren't allowing yourself to be that way, or to kind of go for it or allow it even into your life, because you were conditioned based off of your experiences and your interactions from the past to be a certain way, okay? Okay, group 2. That was your reading. I hope you guys, it feels silly to say it this way, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that it was impactful. I hope that you were able to really hear it, receive it, and that it was helpful for you guys. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking it out to the end, and for really hearing it, and for hearing it for yourself, okay? So on behalf of your inner child, also, thank you guys for continuing to listen to a message and hearing a message that could have been very tough and difficult to hear, okay? We acknowledge that. If you guys found this video helpful, I would appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up. It helps, you know, the channel and the videos and all of that jazz. And if you guys are curious about my other videos or other readings that I'll be posting in the future, that I've posted in the past, I would appreciate your support with, if you guys could subscribe. You don't have to, but only if you feel called to. I would appreciate if you did, as it does help the channel out. And also, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you are open to talking. Okay, open to sharing if it resonated for you, or, you know, whatever else you feel like you want to express. Okay, and yeah, thank you guys for being here, for tuning in, and I'll see you group 2 in the next video, okay? I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, group 2. Hey, group 3. This is your group. If you chose this beautiful, lovely Bennu Euphoria with all of the spacey lusciousness. Let me see if I can focus in on it. Look, you guys. There's even an alien. Okay. You see how pretty? I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay. And I don't know if you'll be able to pick up on the blue glitter here, but it's actually, oh, I closed that tight, on this part of it as well. So super spacey. And this pen is actually hand painted, which I think is pretty cool. For all of those details. So yes, okay. So that's the pen that you chose. I'm gonna set it to the side. I'm gonna bring the singing bowl for you. Whoopsies. Okay. Ay! Oh my goodness. There we go. Alrighty. So we're going to take a look at your cards. I haven't seen them yet myself, but there's also going to be one small portion where I'm going to shuffle the cards on camera, just because I did it in the first group, so I'll do it in yours too. But first, let's reveal your cards, okay? So we have the Knight of Wands. The sound effects are included in your group. But yes, this is the Knight of Wands. Then you have the sun. Look how cute. It's actually a song from a Russian cartoon. Okay, then the 10 of coins, or the 10 of pentacles, pentacles, the 10 of pentacles. Okay, you guys actually got an extra card with this deck. You have the Devil. Okay, now that song is like stuck in my head. It's like a kid's cartoon, you know, like from Soviet times, I think. I'm pretty sure it's from Soviet times. It's an old cartoon. And then we have the High Priestess, the Lovers. This deck, I've been saying it in every group, so I'll say it in yours as well, okay? This deck is actually like a pasta deck. And I decided to use it because my birthday is coming up on Friday, November 8th. And I'm going to get pasta at this place that I really, really like in the city. And so I decided to use this pasta deck. Then we have Justice. You see how even the pillars here are a type of pasta. But you guys actually have kind of all... Oh, no, okay. You have all high... major arcana cards, but the minor arcana is different names of pasta, and I'm not familiar with the suits, so I have a little note, but yours are pretty easy, I would say. Well, then we have the Queen of Corta, which is the Queen of Wands. I only know this one by heart at this point of the video because literally every group has had a Wands card, so I already know what it is. And then the King of Ripiena, I don't know how it's actually supposed to be pronounced, but I know that this is the King of Cups, and I only know that again because while I was shuffling, I saw the 10 of Cups, and it was very obvious that it was supposed to be the 10 of Cups, and it was Ripiena, so, and he's on a boat actually, so that kind of works. But okay. Also, I just wanted to say, please, if it's not for you, don't take it. It's just, there's a lot of pride, power, and pride energy coming through in this group. Not from these cards in particular, but it just kept coming through in little ways while I was shuffling. So again, only take it if it resonates for you, you guys, okay? I know there are some people that when they hear that, they'll be like, no, that's not me. And I'm like, don't worry, I have multiple kinds of people that watch. So I think regardless of your orientation, your sexual orientation, the message can be interpreted a couple of ways. So for some of you guys who are, you know, like LGBT and all of that stuff, that's come through. But for those of you who are not, it feels like a message that's come through is just an open heart, like an expressive heart. Where it's like somebody who wears their heart on their sleeve. But we're going to get more into that as the other cards are revealed, because it could be about you or it could be about something else that's coming through. It's just that was a message that came through, like that rainbow kind of power, I guess you could say. But the rainbow power is not necessary. You know what I mean? It's like for those of you who are LGBT and all the other stuff, right, that comes in between and after or whatever, that can be a synchronicity. But for those of you who are not, you know, the rainbow is not claimed. You know what I mean? A rainbow is a rainbow. So a rainbow is also positivity and hope and just this beautiful array of colors. Okay, so that is coming through too. Okay, so you guys will know which one applies to you. So yes, I feel like there could be maybe like one person who's like, oh wait, so is this my group or not? And it's like, it is. If you chose it, if you felt called to it, it is your group, okay? Like the fact that you guys chose the alien space card, this is like the kind of energy of like one love, you know what I mean? One love, like one life, like that whole Bob Marley song. Let's get together and be something. Okay. But the whole point is that it's just about love here, okay? So whether it applies to your sexual orientation or it's a love where you're just like, I can love and appreciate all humans, okay? There's big heart kind of energy coming from you guys. Okay, then we have the beaver. Okay, and then we have the starfish. Yeah, like look at that. You guys chose this alien thing and you have the starfish. I know it's aquatic, but it's a star, okay? Okay, then you have 36, shadow self, denial, projecting, and shame. Okay. So remember how I told you guys that there is a trigger warning? In the beginning of the video, I mentioned a trigger warning. The word trigger is literally in the title, okay? So we're going to be talking about some sensitive topics that I feel like, you know what I mean, can trigger some people. It is literally in the title. So we're going to talk about it, and I want you guys to just remain open-minded, or don't shut down after hearing just one sentence. Let me finish talking before you guys may, you know, form your opinion, okay? Because if I just say one sentence and then you form your opinion off of that, like, how can I give you the message because you shut it down right away? Okay, this is not for all of you, this is for some of you. So just remain open to getting the whole message in full, not just a sentence, okay? Because sometimes I'm channeling. When it comes through, it doesn't come through 100% everything in that one sentence. We kind of have to build on it so it can continue to unfold. Okay? Okay. So then we have Scorpio. First house. And Gemini, okay. All right. Now, give me 1 second. This is the part where I'm going to shuffle the cards on camera. These cards we're going to interpret, but it's going to be like, what is the trigger? Okay, what is triggering you? Why are you being triggered? And now I want to see if these cards can, I mean, I'm sure we can find it here, but I just want to get a couple of extra cards to see where that triggering is coming from. Is it a situation, a person? Okay, just an example. So let's see, give me 1 second. God, what or who is triggering? Group 3. One more. Okay. Alrighty. So, let's see. We have the King of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Fool. Okay. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, group 3. So, what I'm seeing here, because the question is, why are you being triggered and what is triggering you? And I'm kind of seeing a story here, okay, where you guys, it feels like it is definitely for you guys, it's a person, okay? It feels like a person that's triggering you. A person that has energy that is kind of opposite to you. So if you guys are very spiritual, I think you would have associated this person with being very practical, okay? If you are very emotional, you guys could associate this person with being very logical. If you guys are passionate, this person is watery, okay? It just feels kind of like opposites here. In some way. It doesn't have to be in every way that you guys are opposites, but it could be whether it's in, one of you is very feminine, the other is very, very masculine. It could be one of, like even here, you can see the complexions, there's opposition here, okay? Like even here, right here and here, there's opposition. So there could be whether it's like your races or religions or something is considered not, I don't want to say in conflict, but it's kind of like opposites, it's not It's not a natural kind of what people would assume where you pair off with someone who's like you, who's similar to you, okay? So it feels like that. It feels like whoever is triggering you guys is somebody that is a person, and for a lot of you guys, it seems like it could have been a romantic interest. And for some of you guys, I think it could be a friend or somebody. Yeah, but for the majority of you, it feels kind of like a romantic interest. I'm going to be completely honest, okay? So this person, they came in hot and heavy and steamy, okay? And I feel like they warmed up your life a little bit. But the connection that you guys had was kind of toxic, because it was more of a draw of like, there was passion, yes, but it felt like it wasn't just passion, it was kind of like lust or infatuation. Now, infatuation doesn't have to be completely toxic, but it feels like in this case, it kind of became that way, okay? It feels like this person was meant to trigger you guys. They were meant to be some kind of a test for you. They were meant to kind of help stir you, okay? But what I'm getting here is it was kind of toxic. I'm not saying that you made it toxic. I'm saying that it could even just be this person, because it feels like you guys were the higher vibrational one between the two. That's why I'm saying, like, it could be that one of you guys was more spiritual and the other was more earthy, but earthy is not toxic. But it's like every zodiac sign, for example, right, has a positive and a negative. And if you work on yourself, you go into the positive traits of that zodiac sign. But if you never work on yourself and you just kind of live in that 3D mindset, and the 3D mindset can sometimes evoke feelings of like victim mentality, then you're playing into the more toxic negative traits of that zodiac sign, right? It's like some people will look at Scorpio and be like, oh, like for example, both of these signs actually, Scorpio and Gemini, they actually have pretty bad reputations in, I think, people who just have a standard basic knowledge of astrology, because people will look at Scorpio and be like, oh my gosh, Scorpios are toxic, Scorpios are dark, you know, and whatever, but they're good at sex and that's about it. But Scorpio, the light attributes of a healed Scorpio person, right, or is that they're not manipulative, which is some people can say are part of the shadow traits, but they're actually transformational, incredibly intuitive. They kind of have like a shaman-like quality. So people who have heavy Scorpio or Pluto energy in their chart can have this very deep shaman-like kind of presence, especially when it's Scorpio, but Pluto can call that too. They're going to be deep in general, right? They know how to carry, they're strong when it comes to understanding and handling dark and deep and heavy emotions, so they can act as a guide, right? That's why I mentioned shamanism, because a shaman is essentially a guide, okay? So there is a lot of light aspects, light attributes of Scorpio. They phoenix things, they can help transform things and people and situations, right, into light. So it's not just the shadow aspects, it's also the positive aspects. They can help people connect with their souls because they're so deep. So they could do like counseling and stuff. But yeah, if you go into toxic traits, they can be considered manipulative, sarcastic, very heavy energy, controlling, and like sex heavy, right? Depending on whatever. Same thing with Gemini. Gemini's toxic traits are also like the funnily enough, they kind of tie in that regard with the sex stuff, but also that they're fickle, that it's about them, that they can have this bipolar-esque quality, and all of this stuff, right? But then the light attributes of Gemini, right, are that they are free spirit on some level because it's opposite of Sagittarius. They're extremely good communicators, okay? Very expressive. They have a childlike joy to them, a childlike presence and essence, and they can bring out that childlike spark in other people. They also are very intellectual and inquisitive, and they're willing to try new things, which is such a hard thing to do for most people, okay? New things is hard for a lot of people. Scorpios are not known for trying new things, at least like the normal association with it. I mean, again, the transformational aspect, the light attributes, yes, they can do the transformation and adapt to new situations and all of this stuff. But the shadow aspect is definitely stuck in their ways because it's a fixed sign stubborn, right? Gemini can also be considered fickle, but the light attribute is not that it's fickle, but that it can be adaptable as well. And they thrive in new situations. And on some level, they can be the person who helps make other people feel comfortable in a time where everything is changing. Okay? So, and there are a bunch more positive attributes. They can also be very cognizant and receive psychic downloads or information too when they're in their healthy light attributes. So every sign is like this, okay? So that being said, I know I went into kind of a long explanation there, but the person that has, like this other person, like you guys feel like your consciousness is in another, like is a level or two above this other person that you guys thought could be like a counterpart for you or like a connection to you, okay? And that is, I think for some of you guys, it kind of makes me think of like the twin flame journey, in the sense where some of you guys feel like this person could be your twin flame, you know, but I just want to say that a twin flame connection is not a connection that people necessarily always actually end up together. Sometimes they come together just to kind of spark a change or ignite each other, and that's it. They don't always come back together. Okay, so whether or not you feel it's a twin flame connection, you can judge that for yourself. That's not my place to say. But as far as what I feel like you guys feel about the connection is that there is definitely something as strong or similar, kind of like a twin flame connection coming through here with this other person. But it almost seems like this person, maybe at first you were kind of like, I'm not just going to give in to them, but then they warmed you up, you know what I mean? And it became, I don't know, like you became curious and you feel like they kind of touched your heart. And then, like I said, it became kind of toxic. Now, for some of you, this could be a connection from the past, okay? And it just still has some kind of an impact or hold on you. And it feels like there was a little bit of confusion of the fieriness of the connection and confusing it with warmth. Because sometimes when we're not used to warmth, a blazing fire that can be maybe not the best for our health provides us with the warmth that we didn't have at all. And at the end of the day, it's still kind of like a blazing fire. It's not a warm fire that's just meant to keep you warm. It's a blazing fire that's kind of uncontrollable and wild, not exactly the best thing for you, because it can turn toxic really quick. It can turn into a forest fire, okay? So, yes. Let me see what else I'm getting here. I feel like this person, like you guys could have pictured what life would be like with this person as well, okay? I think there was a life that you imagined and that they could have imagined that seemed beautiful, but it feels like ultimately it's not exactly happening. So with this beaver and starfish, the starfish is letting me know that you guys are galactic souls. Okay, you're very loving, you're very compassionate, you're very accepting and caring, and that you're very shiny. But this beaver is kind of letting me know that you were in hibernation, or you were kind of in isolation, or in your own little thing for a long time. And this person kind of helped bring you out of that. And I feel like that's another reason where there's like this attributing some kind of feeling towards them as well. But it could be that, like I was saying, right, even if you feel like it's a twin flame, sometimes twin flame connections are just meant to come into each other's life to ignite something, and that's it. So it does feel like, yeah, it feels like if this is a past thing for some of you guys, some of you could have gone into this beaver stage again, kind of like going off into the woods and becoming a little recluse. Even if you want to be open, it's like out of habit, you kind of are not as open as you would like to be, or maybe you think that you're open, but you're not really as open, okay? And I think that it's, give me 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, it's like the shadow self is coming through with the denial, projecting, and shame. The projecting, you know, there's something here about not really getting the full picture because you're so convinced that you know exactly what it is. So because you're so convinced of that, it feels as though you're not allowing divine to give you all of the information or some kind of a new perspective. Okay, sometimes when we say, even if we were right about it before, right, but sometimes situations change or you're ready for more information, but like it feels kind of like you're saying, well, this is what this connection is. You know, you can say whatever you want to Milka, but I know what this connection is. But it feels like that stubbornness is kind of like keeping you guys. It's acting as a little bit of a barrier from allowing source to give you clear guidance and clarity on the actual situation and connection. Like you guys have an idea of what it was for, but again, trigger warning, okay? But it's like you're not getting the full picture, and there's a little bit of stubbornness that's coming through here that's keeping you from getting that full picture, okay? And I feel like some of you guys think that you're being open, like I said. Like you think like you could be open, but this King of Swords, this Four of Swords, it's kind of coming through as you're, yes, on some level you could be considered trying to be open, but it's not as open as you think, okay? There's still a lot of in your head or isolation energy that's kind of surrounding you. And you could say, well, Milka, but I just went here and I went there. And it's like, I get it, but I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a little more, you guys. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more, a little bit more action. So the triggering here, why you're being triggered, I should say, it could be like maybe on some level, maybe that connection is coming up again, whether that person is actually trying to reach out to you, or they're still in communication with you, or it's a memory, but it keeps coming up in your mind for some reason, or you're getting examples of the the reason that I feel like it's coming up is because this person, like I said, was meant to be a little bit of a catalyst to kind of pull you out of this beaver state, kind of pull you out of the woods, out of the forest, out of isolation. And so now that's coming up again, where divine would like you to come out of isolation, to come out of the forest, okay? Because you're coming to your time to shine. You're coming to your time to live as part of the world, as connected to the world, not just connected to nature, but connected to the world and the people as well. Okay. And again, like from some people, I'm sensing a little bit of ego and going like, well, I am connected to the people. Because like I said, remember there's this like one love, like connection to all, loving and all this stuff. And it's like, you guys, I understand what you're saying, but I hope that for those of you who are saying those things in response, right? But I hope that you can see that you are connected, yes, but it still feels like it's from a distance, okay? It feels like you guys are saying, well, I am open, I am connected and all of this stuff, but it feels like the capacity for you to be open and connected is like this big, you know, and this is the room where that kind of capacity happens, but you guys are like right here, okay? In a smaller thing, in a separate space, looking at that room, or slightly connected to that room. So it's almost like you guys are being asked to enter into this phase, into this step, into this stage, okay? And I know some of you may say, well, Milcah, I've got life going on. I'm busy, work and all of this. I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And I completely understand. But I'm just saying maybe you can invite room or presence for coming up with ways where you can get more of that. Not just in the things where you feel is normal to you, okay? Or like where you feel like, well, I would only entertain it if it's kind of like a spiritual thing now or whatever, right? I like, for example, I would only entertain it if it's like some kind of yoga gathering or, you know, like some kind of event that's happening in my hometown. I think the whole point is God, Source, is trying to get you out of there, is trying to get you out of that little bubble, because that bubble is within your control. That bubble, whether it's in your town or your hometown or whatever, it's in your control. Okay, you're only going to have a certain kind of amount of experiences coming to you here. And I know some of you are saying, well, Milcah, I am a divine creator. I call all those things to me. That I need. Everything that's meant for me will find me. And it's like, yes, but think of this as part of your healing experience by shaking up your world even more. Not just shaking it a little and then being like, I'm allowing things to kind of unfold and find me and all this stuff, but really getting yourself into a situation where you're very, like, which is completely out of your current comfort zone, or that you haven't been in a while. Maybe this is something you guys like to do before, and then now you feel like you kind of outgrow it. It doesn't give to you anymore. Well, do that again, okay? So instead of being in your small town, maybe go to the nearest city, like a bigger city that's near you, and go experience not necessarily the nightlife. You can do it during the day, but like things that you used to do, okay? So if you drive everywhere now, take the subway, take the train, take the metro, okay? I know that you're like, well, I have a car. Why would I do something that makes me uncomfortable? It's not about just being uncomfortable. It's about connecting to a different social way of doing things. Even a car is isolated travel, okay? So get on a metro. There are people there. Yes, it's inconvenient. You have to be looking at the times. But one plus is that you don't have to worry about parking. Get on the metro. Go to the closest, like, big city, okay? And just allow yourself to explore. Whether you're walking in some trendy streets or you go to a park in that city, you could say, but Milcah, I have a beautiful park where I live. And that's great, but it's not about just going out into nature. We're already talking about you needing to come out of the woods, okay? it's about you literally coming out of your comfort zone. And for those of you who argue, I can come out of my comfort zone where I am, it feels a little redundant because where you are is your comfort zone. It's your comfort to stay in your local area. Even if you're like, I travel to the nearest town that's 30 minutes away from here, it's like, it's still comfort zone because it's still similar to your area. I know that there's a lot of things that you guys can do where you are, but go to a place where there are a lot of people, like a metropolis kind of city, okay? And experience that again, because you guys used to do that. You used to go out and do those things, okay? Like if you're looking at like dating again, right? And you're looking at the small town, you've got such a small bunch of people to sort through as opposed to going to this big town, okay, this big city, and like there's so many people and walks of life surrounding you. I feel like it needs to kind of feed this other part of you that hasn't been fed in a while, okay? Like this other social aspect of you that's kind of stimulated by the hustle and bustle of a city, okay? Yeah, you see the Fool. This is like that new beginning. It's like you guys think that it's being open, but it's still kind of recluse. There's still an element of control here and comfort zone. So in order to get out of that, you have to really kind of shock your system a little. And to shock it, a great way to do that is by going into such a big city, right? Like a metropolis kind of city if you can. Getting on a train or a metro if you usually take a car, you know, public transportation or whatever, right? So that you can kind of shake it up. You're not allowed to kind of stay in this inner bubble. You can now feel everything else around you, you know? And for some of you, it may feel overwhelming at first, but I feel like you guys, you have it in you to just be like alive and bubbly and hustly and bustly and kind of connected with that city-like energy. It's just, you kind of stepped away from it for a long time. Yeah. Let me see what else. Yeah, that's where the projecting is where the love stuff was coming through. And the denial is where this like aspect of like the city and like going out of that comfort zone and realizing that it's a comfort zone and all of this stuff. That's where the denial feels like it's coming through. Let me see what else I'm getting here. Like, I'm not saying you have to go to a nightclub, okay? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be at night. Maybe if you are okay with doing in the evening, you can do like 6 p.m. in the city, you know, or like come out sometime in the afternoon, spend a few hours, you know, at 6 p.m., do some kind of a course or like a club. Maybe you used to like going to the city to go to like a special place or like a gathering where it was like people who talk about empowerment, okay? And okay, I'm gonna mention this, but most people probably don't know what it is, but like there's this thing called Landmark, and they do like seminars, I think, for like empowerment and stuff, or for action take. I don't know, it's kind of different stuff. You know, so for example, if you were doing some kind of courses like that years and years ago, it's like, yeah, you have that information, you have that knowledge, but it's not just about the knowledge and information, it's about the interaction you were having with the people at those courses, right? It's that kind of spark that it was lighting in you. So now it's time to change it up. Now it's time to kind of start going back out there. Go do those seminars or courses again. Okay, so if it's Landmark, for those of you who are familiar, who that can be a resonation, like a resonant thing for, okay, great. If it was like some other kind of course that you were doing, a cooking class, okay, maybe it's a cooking class. Maybe you sign up for like a workshop where there's 10 cooking classes in the course of 3 months or something. And once a week you have to meet in the city to go to do the cooking class, or a dance class, or some other kind of something that kind of gives you a little bit of that extra, one, something to look forward to, two, it takes you out of your comfort zone, like literally the comfort zone, like location wise, okay? And three, it'll surround you with it'll feed this other part of you that likes that intellectual communication and hustle and bustle aspect without you having to do this every single day, right? So a little part of you gets fed by doing that. Once a week is doable, right? Finding time once a week can be possible. I know it seems like, well, that's a big commitment. Well, this is all short-term stuff. That's why I'm saying it doesn't have to be a 10 course, like a 10 class cooking class. It could be 6 classes. It could be maybe a 4 class seminar or 4 seminars that they have, like once a week for 4 weeks. Okay. You can do that for 1 month, right? And I feel like it's going to give you that spark or that push into productivity, into kind of motion that you've been looking for and wanting. Okay. But, that's only going to happen if you kind of challenge yourself. And I know it seems like, well, I have other responsibilities, but see how you can apply it, because I know that there's going to be a big pull of trying to kind of find that where you live. So see if you can, you know, like you don't have to be afraid of the subway. You don't have to be afraid of these big cities. Okay, yes, crime and whatever happens, but it's not happening every second of every day in every single part of the town, right? So kind of consider that, okay? See if what I'm saying has a resonance with you or some kind of tiny pull on your heart in any way, okay? And then it can apply. I feel like the reason this relationship came up is, again, because maybe you've been thinking about this person, or this person is currently coming through in your life. You know, this is a general reading. So some of you are like currently interacting with them, or you just finished interacting with them, or, you know, it's been a while, but like they came up again, or they tried to reach out to you, or like again, like I said, you haven't had any contact, but you thought about them or have been thinking about them recently. And I think it's because it's kind of like Source and God telling you, okay, my beautiful group 3, I would like you to start coming out of your comfort zone again without having this catalyst, okay? This person is just meant to be a catalyst to get you out of your comfort zone, get you out of your shell, okay? Because you have all of these goals and aspirations and this mission and purpose that you feel a calling to and a way of being and living, but it's hard for you to kind of get the ball rolling because a part of you is missing that stimulation that you used to get that would inspire you to keep moving forward, okay? It's never gonna feel like the right time or like you have time. But if you can carve out a couple of hours for yourself in a place that's kind of uncomfortable a little, I think it can help kind of start sparking that for you guys again, where you don't need someone like this to come into your life again to try to spark you up, okay? I feel like God is saying it's time. It's time. You're getting very close to the time for you to start kind of taking action, okay? So it doesn't have to be tonight when the night that you're watching this. It could be that maybe you look into something that starts next month, okay? Or like the middle of next month. So you give yourself some time, because I'm sure you guys have got whatever is going on in your life. I get it, okay? But this way you give yourself some time, maybe a month and a half, or a little less than that, you know, to plan everything, see if they have those courses that you like or whatever, so that you can sign on for the next series of them, okay? A place where you actually would have to go there and physically interact, okay? Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like the reason that the trigger is coming through associated with this person is because it's all meant to be like a spark for you guys to kind of come out of your shell so that you can be this star. Because what's the point of being a star in the middle of nowhere, right? For shining so bright and wanting to help the world, but kind of being a little more on the reclusive end, okay? Coming out into town once in a very blue moon for some kind of social something, that's still like, again, it's like a very small circle of people that you're kind of exposing yourself to. And if you expose yourself to a larger group of people, you can find someone else who has that kind of similar spark to you, and you guys can become friends and spark each other and kind of keep each other accountable and have that exciting conversation and stimulating conversation that you haven't really had maybe in a long time, or that you feel like you don't have as much of as you would like, okay? Being on your own is a good skill, but try not to isolate too much. We're in a world full of people because we're meant to encounter and interact with each other, right? Otherwise, we'd have our own individual islands. Okay, so socializing is good, you guys. Connections, it's a part of life. If you want to be helping people and working with the world, then you've got to work with people. You know, you've got to come together with people. You've got to meet up with people and communicate with people. Okay? All right, group 3. That seems to be all I've got for you. That was your reading. Okay, if you stuck around to the end and you were able to kind of listen through the whole thing, I appreciate it. Okay, I hope that you can give yourself a little bit of a round of applause, because like I said, there was kind of a bit of a trigger, kind of pulling and warning in a couple of sensitive topics that were coming through for you guys. If you felt like this video was helpful, I would appreciate if you can give it a thumbs up. If you feel like you would like to share in the comments, maybe you're going to share in the comments about your accountability, like, okay, Milka, I will go into the city, I will listen to Source, I will get on a train after 20 years of not being on a train or whatever. Okay, 10 years, 15 years, 8 years, I don't know, however long it's been, okay, for those of you who have not been on a train, okay? So yeah, you can feel free to comment for that accountability, to kind of put it out there, right? Like, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to go shine my light, because this is the only way that I can shine, right? Is not the only way that you can shine, I'm sorry, but this is the way for your light to be seen and to get you the ball rolling so that you can go for those things that you like, okay? And for those of you who are subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. And for those of you who are newer to the channel or who are not subscribed, you don't have to subscribe, but I would really appreciate if you did, as it does help the channel. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. Thank you again for your time. Okay, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, group 3. Hey group 4, this is your group. If you chose this vintage Mont Blanc Meisterstück 146 from the 90s, okay, it is bought secondhand vintage from the 90s, okay, so this is your group. If you have chosen this pen, I'm gonna put this pen to the side, the pen that you guys have chosen, and I shall ring the singing bowl for you. Thank you very much. I will also reveal your cards now, but I do want to say I'm going to shuffle on camera in your group, as I have done so in every other group, for one of the sections, which is going to be to see what exactly is triggering you. Now we're going to see why you're getting triggered and potentially what is triggering you, but then that other shuffle is just going to be specifically to see what is triggering you. Okay, so let's see. We've got Death. These are holographic cards. I'm just gonna move them. You can see in this one the flag. The flag is moving. I hope you can see it. I can't tell at this angle. Okay, then we have the Page of Wands. You can see. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Then we have the Chariot. Oh my goodness, I saw the Chariot peeking through in another one of the... Isn't this so cool, by the way, to see them walking? I love this deck so much. I think it's so nifty. It's so cool. You just can see the Sphinxes. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get it more Look at that. Look at that catwalk. Okay. Super cool. Okay. But yes, and it's not just that. The cape is flowing in the wind as well. Okay. But anyway, the chariot peeked through in another deck. So it's interesting that it actually came out for you in this deck. Okay, then we have, oh, give me a second. Okay, so I am using a pasta deck, okay? And I've been saying this in every group, but my birthday is this Friday, November 8th, okay? And I'm going to the city to get pasta. I'm going to get pasta at this place, okay, that I like. And in honor of that, I decided to use the pasta deck. I'm not as familiar with their suits because the suits are different names of pasta. So give me 1 second. I have to reference the little book. Pentacles. Okay. Minuetta. Okay. Pentacles. Gotcha. Okay. So you guys have the 5, 6, 7. The 7 of Minuetta. So the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then you have the Pope, which is the Hierophant, as well as the 4 of Minuetta, so the 4 of Pentacles. The Bear, the Tiger. You guys actually got an extra card from this deck, which is the Zebra. The Zebra. And then you have number 18, Syrian's A, Artistic Integrity, Honesty. Can you see that? Let me pull these guys up a little. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel that funky gibberish? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel that funky gibberish? Hey, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard fence. Okay. Then we've got the waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous. Okay. That's the waxing, right? Oh my goodness. I've got to reference the book again. You guys, it's been a minute. Okay. It's been a minuetta. I'm good. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, it's been a while since I've used these cards, since I've used any of my cards that are outside of the Rider-Waite. So I know the phases of the moon. I just forget which side the shadow part is supposed to be for which, if it's waxing or waning. So give me 1 second. I believe I was right. I believe it's the yes, I was. Okay, waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous. I was right. Okay. Waxing, waning. Wait. If the, yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, then we have the Earth. Okay, Derek. And then we have the beginning of summer. Look how bright and sunshiny this card is. It's so lovely. Okay. Okay, and now let's do the shuffle of the other cards really quickly. Give me 1 second. Okay, God. What is triggering group 4? Two more cards. Oh gosh, okay. One more card. Okay, thank you. Dark. So we have got the 4 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, train delays, that's kind of cute. Okay, and then the Hanged One, the Hanged Man, the Hanged One. Okay. Bottom of the deck energy, I wanted to kind of share it with you guys. You have the 6 of Wands, and then you also have the nine of coins on the bottom of the deck, the 9 of pentacles, okay, and then the 6 of coins, which, okay, anyway, give me 1 second, my friends, let me see what I'm seeing. Okie doke. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of seeing what is triggering you, but I want to see the other stuff before I start talking, so give me another second. Huh. Okay. Okay, got it. Cool. Okay, so I was a little confused by these, but I'll explain everything. Okay, so we'll start with what I saw as kind of being a trigger for you guys. So the thing that feels like it's triggering you guys is there's this sense of isolation, okay? It kind of feels like you guys are on your own and you're not getting connection. You're not getting the connection that you would like, okay? Like a soul connection, whether it's with friends, like your people, your soul tribe, you know, or like romantic. It's not just romantic, it just feels like connection in general, okay? Like it feels like you guys are looking to kind of be part of a community, a part of a group, a part of something, okay? Connection feels tied to it. But it also feels like you guys are working on a couple of things here. I don't know, there's some kind of something going on for you, and it is kind of going on in isolation. And like you're being presented like tiny minor things, okay? But they don't feel satisfactory enough. Like for example, if we're talking about connections, it feels like if you're looking for like that soul connection, like soul tribe kind of a friend or like a close friend, even if it's just one, right? But you're meeting people who kind of vibe with you a little bit, or like you enjoy having conversation, but you don't feel like they give as equally to you as you give to them, or like they contribute as equally to you as you contribute to them. So it feels unsatisfactory. There's still some kind of like a okay, but this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something more than this, okay? Yeah. So it feels like there's some irritation with that, kind of like, oh, it's like everyone is kind of like this. Like, when am I going to come across someone like that, okay? Or even if there is no desperation, it's not as desperate as like, when am I going to come across somebody like, you know, so such and such, like what that clicks with my soul, like it's kind of like my vibe. Okay, it's like you are this Syrian and you are looking for your people. Okay, you're looking for your soul tribe, you're looking for your community, you're looking for these artistic, integrity, honesty kind of driven people that are like you. You're looking for people who want to live in their authenticity, in the full expression of their soul, who can be silly with you and have your sense of humor and have your you know, like your aspirations and goals for what kind of world you would like to see, and that are spiritually inclined in a similar sense that you are, and all of this stuff, okay? Are creative types too, you know, and their minds are creative. You like I think that's another thing. That's why I'm saying it's not just like a romantic something, though if it came in the form of like somebody who ends up becoming a partner, I don't think that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's like you guys are just like, I don't even care if it's romantic. I just want a connection. I want that connection. I want someone who thinks like me, who is on the same brain wavelength as me, okay? Who is similar to me. Like we can just kind of banter off of each other. Like I want like soul tribe kind of community. Even if it's just one person, at least to get that one person while we connect with others. Like I want someone who is part of my community, part of my collective. And so the fact that you guys are not getting that kind of feels, or you're not seeing it right this second, right this moment, and haven't seen it for maybe a little bit of time, quite some time, I feel like that's kind of a little like, oh, can't I already have, like, there's a little bit of triggering there. It's kind of a little frustrating, okay? Like you see this person, this hangman has his hands crossed and it feels very prominent, like, okay, still hanging here looking for somebody who's going to recognize me and we can click and hang together or like do our thing together, you know? Okay. And then with the train delay, you see it's kind of like, okay, when is it coming? Or like, I'm looking for it, okay? And then why it's triggering you. Why it's triggering you. So give me 1 second. This I thought was actually beautiful because this here is like saying we're revealing one step at a time. So when I was looking at these cards and I'm like, but what does this mean? You know, I was trying to get the full picture before I kind of started talking because this came through clearly and then this kind of paints a picture. But I was like, I want more information on this, and I got it. That's why I was like, oh, I got it. Okay. Because they're like, Milka, the message is one step at a time. So we're going to reveal this when we get to this step. I was like, okay, cool. So as far as why this is triggering you, you guys are currently going through a transformation where you're releasing and letting go of an old cycle and an old way of being. Okay. You're releasing restrictions in expression. You're releasing restrictions in mindset, okay? And yeah, like you guys are doing really well with that, okay? Which is why there could be a little frustration as to like, I'm doing all this stuff. Like, it's not like it's active, like you're super annoyed about it every single day. It just feels like, you know, you're like, oh, I just wish I had a friend, okay? Somebody who completely gets me. So while you guys are releasing, you're coming more and more into your authenticity, okay? And it feels like you guys are now redirecting to head in a certain direction. And it seems as though it's kind of like you guys have entered a room, the room where all this magical stuff happens, the room of possibilities, okay? And you're like, universe, source, I am here. I have come. I have arrived. I'm here, okay? And the universe, like you expected once you walk through that door to have everything, all your miracles and blessings come to you, the thing that you're desiring, all that to come to you, right? But the universe is like, my child, okay? The part of me that is me being reflected in an experience in the 3D on the physical plane of existence and yada, 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 okay? I want to give you everything, but I don't want to just give it to you like one by one. I want to give you in bulk. Okay, so give me a second while I calculate everything that I'm supposed to give to you so that I can deliver it in a little bit more of a bulk kind of way. Okay, as opposed to giving you a penny here, a penny here, a penny here, a penny here. I want to give you like $100, but like give me a second while I'm collecting it from where I'm collecting it from. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting there with the waiting. Like I just heard the waiting, the waiting, the waiting. Oh, where is that? Oh, that's from Shrek the Musical. The song that came through in one of the other readings too. I don't remember which one, but the song is I Know It's Today from Shrek the Musical. Okay. And there's a part where Fiona is just talking about like cutting out the waiting parts of the fairy tale. But like, yes, I know you guys, there's a little bit more waiting there, but it's not a forever kind of thing, you know? It's like the universe. Yeah, remember I showed you the 6 of Wands? The 6 of Wands is victory. In 6 of Wands, you get a celebration for the victory, okay? And it's like, the 9 of Coins is also the abundance. Okay, sorry, my card fell. Okay. Okay, so you want to reveal the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands too, the One of Wands, okay, is this new spark, this new beginning. The Six of Wands came through. The Nine of Coins is also, it's about basking in the abundance, okay, basking in the glory of what you have created, okay? So, yeah, you're meant to have this victory, okay? It's just, you kind of have to give it a moment to process, to like, to create the package, okay? To package it nicely. Let the universe package it nicely for you guys, okay? So you're being triggered in this way because in the meantime, while you're still shedding these layers, while you're kind of saying goodbye to the past and you continue to choose yourself and to be authentic to your soul's most truest authentic form of expression, okay, and beingness, which good job, you guys. Pardon. It's not an easy thing to do, okay? So you guys are doing really great. And in this Chariot card, these Sphinxes are actually moving quite quickly. It's just, okay, now that things have come into motion, for this this friendship that you guys are looking for, you know, like somebody who can kind of introduce you to soul family, this feeling of connection and community, okay? Even if it's just one person who is fitting the vibe, okay? The vibe check. It's like you guys have entered the room, okay? And like your person or friend, when I say person, you know, like I'm saying, it feels like you guys are like, I don't even care if it's romantic, okay? Romantic, nice, okay? But like, I'm not looking for just like a boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm looking for this connection. So unless they're coming to me with this connection, I don't really care for it. I'm not going to keep settling for something less than that. I don't accept what's not this, okay? Because this is what's going to bring me that fulfillment in a connection, okay? I just want to be seen. I just want to be understood. I just want to be heard. I want someone who kind of just gets me, okay? And you guys are bringing that in because you are now seeing and hearing yourself, right? And allowing yourself to be expressed so that you can be seen and heard, which is incredible. And it's like now that you've entered the room, the other party at play, whether it's a small little community or whatever, the opportunity that brings you the community, they're walking quickly. They're walking quickly towards you guys, okay? They're walking towards you, but you got to give them a second because there's quite a bit of desert. You guys have just entered the place of limitless kind of thing. So you got to give them a second to kind of get to you, okay? So just know that yes, you're in a phase of waiting. The Seven of Pentacles. It's like you guys are so close, okay? It's like you have the that's the Russian word. Okay, you guys have the preserves, I think, okay? You guys have the cans ready for like a feast for a family. You guys are like, I'm prepared. Look, I got them. I got the stuff. My stuff is here, okay? My stuff is here. I've got all of my tomato sauces. I'm ready to feed a family. I'm ready to feed soul family. I'm ready to have dinners to welcome my soul tribe to come over. You know, like I'm kind of set. Like I got my sauces. I got my sauces, okay? So when is the pasta friend coming? So it's like, yes, it's wonderful that you guys have the sauces. Now you kind of just got to give it a moment to fully kind of, it's like you just finished jarring these sauces, okay? You just finished jarring all of these sauces. You got to give them like a couple of days at least to settle before you can have your dinner party, right? To kind of really do their saucy tomatoey kind of thing and become that marinara sauce, okay? So that's kind of what it feels like. Just giving it, it's like you guys have arrived. You have just freshly arrived. But like give them a chance to kind of marinate before, like it's like I said, it's like the universe is trying to kind of compile and then give, right? So it's got to like give it a couple of days to marinate so that it'll be perfect when you put it on top of a pasta for the dinner party, okay? Yeah, with the Pope, this is just a sign that like, yes, this is like divine timing. You see how happy the Pope, I don't know if you can see it from here, but like, look at the smile of the Pope, okay? as he's like sprinkling the water. Look at his smile, okay? He's kind of like looking down, smiling at the baby, but it's like you guys are the baby, and like your guides are kind of setting up the space, and then the Pope is like sprinkling the water, and it's like, calm down, you're I'm about to fully pour it, don't worry. I just need to make sure that this cup is full before I pour, because it would be silly to just kind of pour a drop, pull up a water, pour a drop, pull it up again, pour a drop, right? I'm filling up the whole cup, and then I'm gonna pour it onto you, and then I'm gonna fill up even more while you're enjoying the water that's just been poured. I'm gonna fill it up even more so that while you're enjoying it, I can pour an extra cup on you and just keep giving you that abundance, okay? So, yes, it's like the universe, source, God, they're like, okay, it's coming. Just kind of give us a sec. Give us a sec. Enjoy the fact that you guys have come to your destination. You've come to this next phase, to this limitless potential area, okay? And then this 4 of minuete, 4 of pentacles. Give me 1 second. What is this 4 of pentacles? God, source, universe, 4 of pentacles, 4 of pentacles, 4 of pentacles. Tentacles. Pentacles! Or 10 tickles. Getting tickled 10 times. Oh, well, because you have 10 fingers, hopefully. And if you don't, that's okay too. Anyway, moving on. I feel like I need clarification. I feel like I need it and I don't at the same time. So let me use the dice. The dice for you, my friends. Okay. What is the 4 of pentacles regarding? Okay. All right, so we've got opposition, the moon, the number 10, which is the wheel of fortune. We have, I'll check what that is in a second. I think that's Eros, Mars, and then descendant, okay? And I saw the 7th house over here. Ooh, and right underneath the 7th house is Libra, which this is all about connection, partnership, connection, relations, okay? But give me 1 second, 1 second. I almost forgot what I was going to look for. Right, I'm looking for, pretty sure that's Eros. Yes, that is Eros, okay. Attraction. Okay, and then we've got, what is that one? That is Zeus. Directed goals, achievement. Okay. Eros is attraction, eroticism, passion. Okay. Oh, sorry. I lost track of why I was rolling the dice. It's to kind of understand this card. Okay, first of all, it's coming through as like claiming what is yours. It's like, okay. So this is like the you that's kind of like, this is what I want. Okay, this is what I want. This is the only thing that I'll accept. This is what I'll take. Okay, which is where you're getting the Zeus and the Eros, the passion, the thing that you're driven towards, the thing that you desire. Your moon is here. Okay, and then the opposition is kind of like, the opposition is saying, and same thing with the Mars. It's kind of like very direct about, even here, like the fact that she's wearing red, she's giving a little bit of like an Aries vibe, like a young little Aries girl. And so that's what it's kind of feeling like. There's like, this is what I want. I'm not settling for less. This is exactly what, like, I'm telling you what kind of a connection I want. I'm tired. I'm not going to settle or accept anything less, which is kind of what we're seeing here with the Four of Cups anyway. So this just feels very passionate. Like you guys are like, I'm not going to settle for the connections of the past. I know what I want. Okay, with this Four of Pentacles. And then the Descendant is kind of similar. I feel like on some level there is just a teensy bit of like you guys are saying it a little too strongly. You know what I mean? Like you're saying it a little too like, no, like this is, like you keep reaffirming it, you know? And Source is just letting you know, it's okay, we got it. We know the message. Don't worry. You don't have to strongly deny the other things. We got the drift. We got the gist. We caught the drift. Okay. You don't have to strongly deny it. Don't worry. We've got you. Okay. But it feels like you guys are there kind of like, it's not a negative or anything like that, but you guys are kind of like really like, I'm not settling for less. And you're like kind of reaffirming that for yourself and to the universe, to Source. You guys are like, I'm not settling for less. Okay. I already explained what I want. This is the connection that I want. I'm like, I don't want to say like I'm tired, but it kind of feels like I am not going to continue to kind of entertain things that are not this. Okay. Or the idea of things that are not this. Okay. This thing that I want. Okay. Now let's take a look. Are we ready to look at these cards now, God? Can we take a look at the animals now? Okay. Okay, I feel like you guys have gotten a lot. Like you guys have gotten a lot better at expression because so much musically things are coming through for your group. So yes, good for you for expressing yourself and your creativity and your personality. Okie dokie. Okay. So it feels like inside you guys are this bear, this warm, kind, very large presence kind of person. Okay. Very nurturing. Like, I feel like when people are in your presence, they feel taken care of, they feel nourished, they feel nurtured, they feel loved, okay? And you guys have this provider, protector kind of vibe, you know? But it's also kind of a little with a feminine touch. So it doesn't feel overly masculine. It feels like it has that feminine touch, so it's nurturing as well, okay? It's kind, it's soft, it's not aggressive, it's like comfortable, okay? It can make anyone feel comfortable. And you guys know these kinds of things about yourselves. You know what you bring to the table. So that's why I think you guys are strongly kind of going like, I'm not gonna settle again. I'm not gonna settle. I'm not just gonna go for like food scraps. I'm not gonna go for half the cake. I'm not gonna go for 75% of the cake. You're gonna give me the whole cake. If I'm gonna accept the cake, it's gotta be a whole cake. I'm not getting somebody's seconds, you know, I'm not getting I'm not getting the crumbs. I'm not getting the in-betweens, okay? I want this connection. I want my people to kind of come find me, my person that is this connection, whatever this friendship is, okay, to come find me, or we can find each other, or whatever it is. And I'm not settling for less, okay? It feels like strongly coming through with this card. And so it's because you guys know what your worth is. And so now you kind of come through with this tiger energy of this independence. Whereas before, I think you guys could have taken advantage of. Maybe you guys used to give freely to others, right? And you would feel depleted and you're like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of kind of being the one that everyone can turn to or go to, but I don't have that kind of same there's no reciprocity on the same level, to the same extent of what I'm giving. I want it equal. I don't want to be the person that is always guiding everyone, okay? Like, even if they feel like they're spiritual and, you know, meet me, like they have similar interests to me, if I'm the one who's constantly teaching them or who's constantly giving the advice and they don't have as much of that advice to kind of give to me, Like, that's not the kind of connection I'm looking for. I want us to have an equal give and take in this kind of connection. I want us to be able to banter off of each other, to contribute to each other, okay? Breadcrumbs, or like, just because they have some of the features that I would like, I'm not settling for less than all of them, okay? So it's like this tiger aspect of you is protecting this bear aspect of you. Not even protecting it, but kind of like acting as like the security guard. So it's not protecting it, but it's like the security at like a club or some kind of place where they like check people before they let them in. So it's not like the security is like following the bear around. It kind of feels like the bear is inside the facility, okay? And this tiger part of you is kind of like the bouncer. Yeah, that's the word. And it's kind of like vetting people, like, are you compatible with the bear? No? Sorry, can't enter here. We're not entertaining that anymore, okay? So this is kind of like your independence and your power, and like this higher part of you kind of protecting this other nurturing part of you. So I think that's cute. That's sweet, okay? And I think that's another reason that's contributing to the triggering and whatnot, because it's like this part is like, I'm not going to settle for anything less. So it could be kind of a little irritating that the thing that you guys are looking for has not come through yet, okay? Because you're like, okay, like, when is it going to come through? I'm not settling for less, but when is it going to come through, okay? And then the zebra, or the zebra, Arbez, if you read it backwards. Arbez, with that one, it's like this is again representing those unique creative soul family individuals, okay? The pack, the tribe, the other zebras, so that you guys can come together in a pack. And it's like the soul tribe, because this cosmic triangle in the third eye area is kind of like, hey, I'm looking for the soul tribe, soul family, okay? And the bouncer you is going to be like, you're the zebra? You're part of the pack? Cool beans. Because, you know, zebras, they kind of stay in packs. So you guys are looking for your pack, your people, your stripe people, okay? So it's coming. It's coming. It's just you got to give the universe a chance to kind of give it to you. Find the other things that you can enjoy for now while it's coming in, while it's being packaged nicely, okay? And then with these final cards, yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is the waxing gibbous. This is the final stage before the full moon, and the full moon is that fruition, that gift, the blessings, okay? It's the gift of your blessings, the fruition of what it is that you guys are calling in. So it's like you guys are close. You're not 100. It's like, again, it's like you have everything prepared. Now you've got to wait for the phase to change. Now you've got to wait, give it a couple of days to kind of ferment, right? Same thing here. It's like you guys are close. It's the next phase is those connections, okay? It's just, you got to give it like, just give it a chance, okay? You got to give it a moment, kind of do the other things in your life, do whatever else you've got to be doing, create, continue to go into your authenticity and follow your guidance and intuition and, you know, like I said, create and all of the stuff, and be honest and true to your heart and yourself, and living from a heart center, and making choices and decisions from your heart space to make sure that they're completely aligned with your truth and your soul's integrity and fullest expression, okay? Just continue to do that, and like your people will come find you soon, okay? Or like a situation will present itself. They're not going to reveal how it's going to happen, but like something will present itself that can lead you, like the breadcrumbs or the actual people to get you to where they are, or like meet each other halfway. Whatever is going to happen is coming soon, okay? Just continue to enjoy the present moment with the earth, okay? In the moment, just enjoy the other blessings that you're feeling, the other cool emotions that you're feeling, the fact that you feel more like light day and day, as the days go by, okay? I can speak English. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm getting here. And then as far as going to the summer, yeah, this is just the fruition, the beginning of summer. It's like the fruition of that like beginning of that beautiful, joyous time, okay? Just enjoy the moment for now. Enjoy the present, enjoy the moment, enjoy the process, okay? And your thing is coming in, okay? The thing that you're looking for and searching 4. It's coming, okay? There's nothing else you can do to help bring it in faster. It's like you guys have done your part. The rest is on God, okay? The rest is up to Source. The rest is Source doing the pouring and kind of completing the steps, okay? Creating the scenario where you guys encounter each other or come across, you know, and maybe it's on the internet you find your friend or whatever it is, okay? Or this community, okay? Don't think about how. Just continue to do your integrity stuff and authenticity stuff, and that's going to keep you aligned to the possibilities that are going to present themselves or kind of give you like a divine insight or guidance through like a divine spark or inspiration of what to do next, okay? And that can lead you to the next place and the next place, okay? So just know it's coming in. You guys are on track. It's good, okay? Just continue to enjoy the present moment. Breathe, enjoy being alive, okay? Gratitude, and you guys are good. It's coming in, okay? Okay? We're good? Good. Perfect. Okay, group 4, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up, okay? And also, I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you feel so inclined as to say something, feel free to comment. I like reading your comments, my friends. It's always nice, okay? Also, for those of you guys who are subscribed to the channel, thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who are not, you know, no pressure. You don't have to subscribe, but I would appreciate it if you did. If you enjoy my content, you want to see when the next video comes up. It does help the channel when you guys subscribe, so I would appreciate it. But again, of course, I'm not forcing anyone. It's not necessary, okay? Only if you feel so guided, if you wish to support, go for it. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Regardless, I still appreciate your being here till the end of the video, so thank you guys, okay? And yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, light. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye, group 4.